Supermarket Simulator. Oh, did I not buy the game? I thought I bought the game. I didn't buy the game yet. I'm a fucking idiot. All right, let me buy the game real quick. It has overwhelmingly it has fucking, this game, Storage Hustle is like slept on. Supermarket Sim is like not worldwide, but very known. It has 30,000 reviews, which is crazy. All right, let me install. It's installing. Somebody redeemed Flex. All right, we're going to run Supermarket Sim for a little bit, and then are you guys down to hop into Philosophy? We'll run, I don't know how long we'll run Supermarket Sim, but this is probably going to be a 5.5 hour stream today, so we'll probably run Supermarket Sim for like 45 an hour, and then we'll run Philosophy for like an hour, because we have the Afterlife tier list video, which I want to get through, which is like 38 minutes. But it goes through all these different sections. You say it's supposed to be really good. You guys, it's the most recommended Philosophy video I've ever been recommended on the game video suggestion tab. So I'm pretty excited to watch it. I haven't seen it yet. Somebody redeemed headset that. W long stream, yeah. No, I'm trying to make up for the fact that Sunday I'm not going to be live, and next Friday and Saturday I'm not going to be live. So I'm streaming a lot today. Regular stream like 4 hour tomorrow. A lot Saturday. I'm off Sunday. Like today we're going to do Supermarket Sim, Philosophy. Tomorrow's Reacts, Ukraine, Project Hope, charity stream. Then it's Ready or Not, Roblox, Reacts, Saturday, off Sunday. Monday, Simulacra, which is like the scary FMV game, then random games. Tuesday's Reacts, Practice for Party Animals. Wednesday, Party Animals, maybe random after that. Thursday has Unbans and Scary Games. Friday, Saturday off. All right. I know I say my schedule like 40 times a stream, chat, but I'm a very, like, scheduled person, and so I want you guys to know what I'm doing, and I know a lot of people ask what I'm doing on a given day, and I think that's what, like, differentiates me from other streamers, too, is, like, you know what I'm playing, whereas, like, other streamers just pop on and kind of do random shit, so I'll, like, actually inform you of what I'm gonna probably be doing. Obviously, I changed it. Like, we were supposed to do a sim day on Saturday, and we ended up doing it today, but for the most part, I'm pretty scheduled. Alex for the 3. Sorry for being an L chatter. I was just trying to get attention. You're good. All right. Dude, this is in early access, too. Why is every sim game in early access? I feel like that's a lie. Redstone for the fucking 10 gifted subs. Redstone Lord, you go. Thank you for the fucking 10 gifted subs, Redstone Lord. 410. Thank them if you got a sub. Thank you for the fucking 10 gifted. Oh, my God. Your philosophy streams have got me into the deepest rabbit holes. Now I'm low-key thinking about being a philosophy major. Dub. Look at the top right. Oh, upcoming. Moving items without boxes, door interactions, detailed settings menu, cleaning, customization, more decorations. Okay, so it's still in very early access. It's like a new game. We'll start it up. Welcome to Supermarket Simulator. You'll start with a small store and grow into an awesome supermarket. Start by purchasing goods to sell and place them onto the shelves. Don't forget to set the prices with a profit to avoid bankruptcy. Okay. Order goods from your computer. I have to move my face cam back down. Why did I even move it? Because they always show your money in the top right, and I should have just fucking realized that. Okay. And we're back down here. Don't open yet? I'm not going to open. I know I need a... I'm just going to do whatever it tells me. Order goods from your computer. Where's my computer? Oh. Market management and bank. Okay, so you can get bank loans. I only have $50. Wow, you can buy a lot of licenses. Oh, you have to buy licenses. Purchase this license to be able to sell the products. Wow, so you have to like, this is a really high scaling game. I would buy 12. I could buy cereal, sliced bread, flour, pasta, oil, and sugar powder. Powdered sugar. Sugar powdered. Powdered sugar. What should I buy? Probably cheap shit. Flour, pasta, and bread. And then I could also buy oil. And that's $50. I'll have $1. Okay, pick up the boxes that just arrived. I open. Oh, and then I can shelve them. Oh, this is going to be satisfying as fuck. You know what this reminds me of? What was that horror game I played? Oh my god, that was a fucking jump scare. What was that? Oh, throw out empty boxes into a trash can. Hold up. Let me open up. What was that horror game I played where you had to, like, box shit? Night of Consumers. When are they updating that? Because that was one of the best fucking horror games I've ever played. Because it was just fun. I feel like I should have put that top shelf. Does it matter where I put the items, chat, or no? I have to price everything. Set a price on the product. Is it going to tell me how much it's worth? I hope. Average cost is $1.50. Market price is $4.50. So then I would be profiting $3. So should I just always sell for market price? I feel like you guys probably know a lot about this. Should I sell for market price always? Overprice. I feel like then people won't buy it. Market it as to what people will pay for. Okay, so I'm going to notice if things don't go off the shelves, I should probably lower the price. And if they fly off the shelves, I could raise the price. 5 to 10 cents over or under, depending. Okay. Well, I mean, she's already fucking coming in hot to buy some fucking bread. She really needed a bag for that. Interact with the counter. Sorry, ma'am. Sorry. Trying to, you know, we're trying to figure out the store setup here. How do I... Oh. Scan. Take pay from the customer. Collect the right amount of change by clicking on the money. Oh, God. Change is 4 cents. Oh, so I got to do math? Approve. Scan. He takes a card, so that's just easy pay. $4.50. What if I overcharge them? Perform checkouts. Okay. I scan that. He's giving me money. I owe him $1.29. I am fucking goated at this, chat. I'm a math wizard when it comes to this shit. Close checkout. Open checkout. Close checkout. Open checkout. Okay, are we in checkout? I'm in checkout. Scan. $5.50? How much fucking money are you giving me, dude? Get some better change. GNC flashbacks? Dude, GNC was so stressful. We had to put like a password in, and then we had to input the product amount, and they always had these sales going on. And then I had to try and set them up for something else, and there was like 4 other passcodes we had to do. Oh my god, I fucking hated that job. Change is $96. And then 88 cents. The fuck, dude? Give me a $100 bill to buy a fucking $9 item. What if I didn't have the change for that? Dude, I remember I went to a fucking Wawa once and they didn't have the change for $100 when I was buying like $20 worth of shit. I was like, what does nobody fucking go here? $0. He gave me exact change. That's a goat. Cat for the 3. Streamers make my day. Keep up the great work. Nick for the 3. Been watching for 2.5 years. You've been such a W streamer. And not one of those who don't appreciate shit. Always support you and spend at least $150 on merch every drop. W Joe, and proud to be a long-time watcher. Well, you don't need to spend money on the merch, right? If you want to buy the merch, I appreciate that, but don't feel like, you know, the obligation to buy the merch. It's there for people that want it. It's not something where, like, I have to make this amount of money on it. Obviously, yeah, I want to profit in some regard, but I just enjoy making merch for my chat. 767. Should we put on vibe music for this? I feel like I should play some vibe music. This is a fucking very vibey game. Chat, guess what sim game this reminds me of that we used to play years ago, only the OGs remember. Only the OGs remember. Fucking play elevator music? Oh, I'm going to be playing the fucking... You already know I'm going to be playing that shit. I hope it's not copyrighted. But I'm going to be playing that shit for the VOD viewers, too. Where is it? Gas station simulator. Nobody's an OG here. That makes me feel sad. Department store music. Here it is. Yeah, that shit. That shit that I'm going to be playing. Thank you. I hope it's not copyrighted. Is it playing? I think I paused it. No, I didn't. Lovely. What is this guy coming to buy? Probably some vegetable oil. Just mean mugging the fuck out of that pasta. Yeah, I bet you want that pasta. Come check out. The checkouts are full. Were you trying to dip? Were you trying to leave, dog? Was he trying to steal shit? Do people steal shit in this? It won't be in the VOD. It'll be good. No, it will be in the VOD because I'm playing it on YouTube. I'm not playing it on another channel. Yo, when they give me a card, that shit is way easier than giving them change. 312. I feel like I should be able to type that on like a number pad. We already made profit. Every second is a minute in this game, too. God, I really want to upgrade my place and get more items. My store fucking sucks. I sell 4 items. Should I buy more shit? I feel like I should buy more shit. That's like really expensive. I can hire cashiers. Okay, we just need to work on fucking getting better stuff. Let's get some cereal in this bitch. Let's get some cereal. I think that'll get us more customers, maybe. Hopefully. Get some Choco Pick for some people. I think they'll enjoy that. Take out a loan, be a man. Do you think I should take out a loan so I can make more money? Card 312. $0 needed. You're a wonderful lady. Thank you. Thank you for that. What did I not buy? I think I didn't buy sugar powder. Let's buy sugar powder. Let's just buy everything so we have a good variety of stuff for people to be able to order from me. Set the price of $5.98. I forgot, chat. You gotta remind me, bro. My bad. $4.83. I'm almost out of fucking pasta. That many people want to buy pasta? Hold up. Don't leave, sir. Give me a second. Is it there? It's still the same price. Good. Do prices change over time or no? I gotta keep checkout open. I gotta keep checkout open. 90 cents. Math. Got the math is mathing. The math is mathing. $1.60. Easy. Card. 312. Only buying pasta. Who the fuck goes to the store to buy one thing? Sliced bread. Really needed that shit, didn't we? 96.04. What if I don't give them the right change? Will it not let me do that? I feel like I need to move this so I have fucking space. Should I buy anything else? I could buy furniture, other products, and then they have management for licenses, which enables me to sell other stuff. I can expand my supermarket and have more space. I can hire employees in other cashier areas. And then I have storage. How much is a loan? I can take out a massive loan. Daily payment. Loan length. The interest is nothing. I feel like I should... Oh my god, why are they here at night? Turn on the lights using the switch on the wall. Hold up. Do I need to pay for electricity? How much do I owe her? $4. That's easy. Yes, you have to pay bills. Oh, that's so ass. So it's like real fucking life. Oh, that's so trash. Oh my god. Let's do... Should we do a loan? Should we do a loan? Pork for the sub, Yabo for the 3. Give Fiddle a raise because if you don't think he's the best mod, you're bugging and tweaking. Chat, who's your favorite mod? Press enter to finish the day. We definitely made a lot of money. $46. You'll receive daily bills starting today. Make sure to pay the bills using your computer before the due date, or they'll be paid automatically. Where are my bills? Management. Bills. All bills are paid. Should we take out a small loan? I don't think we need one yet. Do a loan? Do we do a loan? Yes or no? Yes or no, chat, on the loan? Oh, I can change... No, I'm not doing a loan. I can change the loan term length. Fuck that. I don't think I need that right now. I'm gonna buy all this shit. Don't tell me I need to reprice it. Okay, good. We need to get rid of all this shit. Sugar powder. I should probably organize these two to where I can fucking have like a bunch of drinks in one aisle and a bunch of other shit. I'm gonna definitely need to do that. Like, this is gonna... That bothers me that I had to do that. Hold up. Can I do this? It doesn't match this size? The fuck does that even mean? Doesn't match the size. Who gives a fuck if it doesn't match the size? Just let me put it in the box. Sliced bread. Okay. It's time to open. We're open for business. Turn the lights off. Now, how do I see how many bills I have? Put excess in the storage room? I don't have a storage room, though. I need to buy a storage room. And a storage room is $800. Fucking $800 for that. I'm assuming I should buy the other shit first. So I can sell more products, get more customers. Yeah, I don't have any bills yet. We're open for business. This game is on your phone, but it's the tiniest bit different. The storage room is outside. Yeah, but I have to buy it. I don't have... You have to pay for the storage room. I just started the game 10 minutes ago. It says you're closed. It says I'm closed from the fucking side. Oh, checkout's full. Fuck. Sorry. Will they leave if I just leave that... What's happening? Daily price change? No, there's no price changes. Reset. What's happening? Move the counter? Think that'll fix it? Dude, what is with this fucking guy? How do I... You're not open. I'm open. Oh. What the fuck was happening there? Dude, it's this guy. It's this fucking guy. I can't. What do I do? Kill him. I mean, I might as well. See, this guy's fine. $5.98. Oh my god. Save. I'm gonna relaunch. I'm gonna relaunch. Okay. I think that might fix it. I hope that fixes it. Everything's still here. We're all good there. Okay. Is it open? Are we open? Yeah, we're open. What the fuck was that? That fucking jerk-off was just standing there not buying anything. Why are you walking like that, dog? Just straight forward, not even staring at me? She's just mean-mugging, too. Hey, you want to come into the store here, man? You want to come into the no-name supermarket? Do I have bills yet? How do I know when I have bills? They'll probably give me a notification. Yeah, come buy stuff. I swear to fuck, if it glitches out. Good. Give me money, bitch. 0 change. Get on your way. Dude, these people are lovely. These people are lovely. They're just giving me exact change. They're making me do no work. Not even giving me a credit card. Purchase a product license using the computer. I need to get money for that. I think it's $200 for the first one. Should I buy a loan? I only could get a $750 loan. If I pay it off in 5 days, I pay up $789. 25 days, $937. I don't think that's worth it. Buy a loan, take out a loan. You know what I fucking mean. Flows for the sub, Big Harry for the 3. I came from Philosophy on YouTube. You said that you didn't know like agnostic. If you found... Hold up. Let me read that. I gotta pause this game. I gotta pause this fucking game. Let me give this guy 8 cents so I can leave the fucking dono real quick. If you found through your study that God doesn't align with your belief, what's the point of being agnostic? And I'm confused why you are agnostic and why you don't just choose a side like yes or no, because there's always going to be mysteries about life. With worrying about it, we'll never know. No disrespect. Love you, Spaghettilozzi. If you don't want to answer this, Messi or Ronaldo. Messi or Ronaldo's just such a dumb question. I just don't care about that. But, if you found through your study that God doesn't align with your belief, what's the point of being agnostic? Because I'm not saying that I don't believe in God. Being an atheist means that I'm non-theistic. I don't follow theism. I don't believe in a God. I don't believe in a gods or a God. But that's not true, right? I don't believe in a heaven and hell. That doesn't mean that I don't believe in a God. I could believe that God created the universe and that God is the universe. But that doesn't mean that I believe that I'm going to heaven or hell, right? Which is why I'm agnostic. I'm refusing to choose, right? Rather, because there is no point in choosing yes or no if I think yes and no are both equally wrong opinions. I don't think there is. It's not even as simple as yes or no. It's what opinion I may believe. I could be a deist. I could be a Buddhist. I could be a Hindu. I could be Muslim. I could be, not Muslim, Islam. I could follow Islam. I could fucking, I could be a Christian. I could be Jewish. I could be fucking anything. It's not just yes or no, right? It could be anything. Right. What the fuck was that? Deism? Deism basically is that God created the universe and then left. That's what, like, I think Benjamin Franklin was. R6 and flows for the sub, milk for the 3. Your new line is welcome to the Bart Mart. But yeah, I mean, like, I could believe in a million things. So it's not just as simple as yes or no. And there's a lot of philosophical beliefs and a lot of religions that I believe in concrete values of, but a lot of things that I disagree with. So I'm not going to definitively choose one or none, because I think that each religion has value in my opinion, right? And that whether or not I agree with everything, I don't. But that guy is fucking horrifying. That doesn't mean that I'm just going to be like, oh, I'm going to choose yes or no. If that makes sense. R6 for the sub. I mean, when we get into the video about watching the Afterlife tier list, everybody's going to start sharing their opinion about what they think happens when they die and what they believe and shit. And then we'll fucking get into those ramblings. But it's going to cover basically every belief of what happens, you know, and that's basically kind of the root of not all religions, but a lot of major points in beliefs. Lacey for the 1,000 biddies. You can set the prices on the product like 20 or 30 cents higher and you'll make more money. Should I do that though? Like if I go like 460, like say I go like 10 cents, like 370, 375. Is this stupid if I do this? If I do like 320, 4 flat, and then like 490? Is that dumb? 10 cents over market price? Are you saying that's like appalling or that's like a smart play? I mean, they're still buying it. Oh. I'm making mad fucking money. I need to start. The checkouts are full. Stop. Checkouts are not full, man. That doesn't mean you just gotta walk away, too, dickhead. Just trying to fucking skip on me like that. I gotta buy more stuff. Purchase. Are there some, like, should I try and buy every product? Or should I focus on certain things? Like, are some items just more worth it than others? Like, I just bought one of fucking everything. Like, I think that might be dumb. Just focus on some products for now. This guy's got to fucking hold up. I gotta stack these. I gotta stack these drawers, buddy. You're gonna have to give me a minute. This is awful, dude, having to fucking unbox everything myself. No one wants my sugar. No one's buying the fucking sugar. Kill the ones that don't buy everything. Literally just not even refuse to sell them flour unless they buy more than one item. They're all waiting for me. They're fucking pissed. When do I need to close? Can I just stay open all the time? Hard for $12.95. I mean, they're still buying. You could just stay open 24/7 if you wanted. I think closing just gives me time to go over and, like, buy shit before I open up. Like, if it gets too hectic. Give extra change? Why the fuck would I do that? Just give them free money? Alright, we can almost buy that license. Make customers buy an item to use the bathroom, too? I can do that? Oh, you're just saying to do that like a douchebag play. Lacey for the 1,000 biddies and 7 for the sub. I could do that if I was a real fucking dick. After 9 p.m., you can't buy, and everything's to close when it's closing time. Okay. After 9 p.m., nobody will come in. Next day. Craft. Market prices have changed for the following products. Craft Young Flour has gone down. Wow. Okay, so I can only sell that for 3. And then it said some things went up. Oh, that went up. $3.90. Let's go $3.80. And then what else changed? Something else went up. What went up? The cereal? $7.18? Holy shit. $7.25 we'll sell that shit for. Could I still buy the cereal for same price? No, that sucks, man. Unit price went up on them. All right, we'll open up. I want to open it early so we can get as much money as possible. What else do I unlock when I buy that new thing? Oh, 86 cents? The fuck? Rent? $20, 3 days left? I'll fucking pay that now. Gotta be on top of the bills. Fucking 300? Oh, no, that's 34,000. 65 grand? I can sell bottled water, cheese, eggs, milk. Oh, this game's about to be fun as fuck. Queso has more progress. Is, like, Queso fucking far? I'm assuming Queso's probably far as shit into this game. You can get robbed? That's awful. How's the Minecraft modded server going? I'm not even doing it anymore. Why is my dog coming in? Hello? Hello? Do you want to say hi to stream? Or you want to say hi to stream? You want to say hi? All right. She just came in for no reason, I guess. All right. Lock back in. Did the fucking music stop? Oh, I can't hear anything. My fucking headset's unplugged. That's awkward. Okay. Do Daisy merch? Yeah, a lot of people were bitching that I didn't do Daisy merch last time. Or this past merch drop. We'll do Daisy merch next. Cool for the sub. 4 flat. I need to make $200 today. So I can fucking sell... Oh, 42? 42 and change, buddy? Dude, please check my bets. Hold up. Some 8th grader in my town OD'd on black tar heroin. Not joking. Lucky he lived, but kids in that grade are wild. On black tar heroin? What the fuck? I mean, like, when I was in, like, middle school, motherfuckers were, like, almost doing nothing. Now I feel like middle schoolers today are probably, like, vaping and doing fucking drugs and shit. Like, the amount of people that do stuff now is way more in the U.S. What even is that? Black tar heroin? It's just a type of heroin. I think it's like a shitty heroin, to my knowledge. I think I should start selling the fucking more, maybe, I don't know. Should I be watching what people buy, or will they just buy anything? Like, should I start selling more cereal? Like, if it's cheaper, will more people buy it or less people buy it? $86. Stop giving me fucking shit-ass change here, lady. Trying to help my customers real quick. Yeah, use a fucking card at this point. Or give me fucking perfect cash. Be it somewhat close. 1850. I'm making mad money right now. Buy when prices go down and then wait for them to come back up. Oh, is that why you're supposed to do storage shit? Bacon and cool for the sub. Oh, yeah, no, I'm going to get mad quick with that. All right, I feel like, so I shouldn't buy stuff that's on the up. But I should buy shit that's on the down. So let me buy, like, that. That might have been dumb. I think that might have been dumb. 4 flat. Let me get up. Move, sir. Thank you. Move. Trying to sell more juice here, buddy. Trying to sell more juice here. Get rid of the boxes here, sir. Trying to sell a lot of flour, you know. Keep the customers happy. 1 second. Oh my God, why did I buy so much flour? I bought way too much flour. I did not need to buy that much. We're going to be selling flour for a fucking while. White powder. You should close while you stock, then open up again. Okay. So I'm only going to stock in the mornings. I'm only going to stock in the mornings. Then I'll just sell shit. Just because I feel like that hurts the customer flow. I actually don't know if it hurts the customer flow. Bacon for the sub, cool for the sub. Adam for the 510. I need more videos. I need more YouTube videos. I watch them on break and I'm almost out. I mean, I'll probably be doing an extra upload from the charity stream. We're uploading tomorrow. Then I'll probably be uploading on maybe Sunday and probably an extra upload on Monday or some shit. If we hit a charity goal, which we usually do. That's always like one of the goals for charity streams, and we have one tomorrow. So I'm definitely uploading on YouTube tomorrow. Should I do an extra upload today? I could do an extra upload for you guys on YouTube if you want me to do one today. I think I have a couple videos. Pay your bills? I think I already did. Unless it gives me more bills every day. Yeah, I already paid my bills. I'm just trying to save up for $200 right now so I can buy that other shit. Oh, yeah, this is it. $25.50. Thank you. All right, now I can buy the license. Now I have the capability to buy water and shit. Oh, my God. How do I determine what I want to buy, though? Bottled water, cheese, eggs, milk, tea, coffee, sugar powder, and flour. I need to buy more shelves. That's going to be a problem. How much are shelves, chat? Are they expensive? Furnitures. $200 for a fucking shelf? Then they have fridges? Do I need to put... no, oh my God, I need to put it in... I need to put water in the fridge? Oh, I need a fridge for all of that shit. Category, edible drink, cleaning, display, shelf, fridge, freezer. Fuck. How much is a fridge? $375? Then they have spotlights, checkout, another checkout counter. Oh my god. You could buy coffee and tea right now. Yeah, but the rest of that shit I need to buy a fridge. If you just fucking couldn't find bottled water. Oh my god, so it's what it's telling me what they want. Let me buy some. Oh my god, it's almost nighttime. We'll do it before we open. $88. Bitch, please. No, no, no. You can take money back by right-clicking on the bills on the cash register. That was the first time I fucking overdid that. You can give people more change. 6 for the 3. What's your opinion on the Queen Tay-Tay's new song, Fortnite? Fortnite mentioned. Taylor Swift? I did hear it. I watched the music video like twice because Brooke wanted me to watch it. All right, we got one more customer here before close. Buddy's coming in last minute in the grocery store. Come on. Is this game free? No. Buddy's buying flour. That's all he wants. And that's all he gets. Thank you, sir. Come again. We're closed. Finish the day. Okay. Cheese is up, cereal, and panzetti pasta is down. Well, I don't have a fridge yet, so I can't even buy that. We should buy pasta, tea, and coffee. I can't buy that. Wow, that shit is so expensive. Why is that shit so expensive? What the fuck? That is, like, actually so expensive. Bro, put them back. You gotta change the price? Yeah, I know. Market price. We'll sell that for fucking $10.55. And then I'm gonna have to lower this to $3.55. I think everything else stays the same. Cheese went up, but I don't have any cheese to sell. That went down to $6.80. Wow, you gotta keep a track of a lot of shit here. Okay, so it stays regular time too, so there's no, like, you don't waste time in the morning when you open. Like, or when you're trying to prepare for opening. The clock doesn't start until I press open. To make sure that I have everything that I can fucking sell. I have no bread to sell. I don't think I have enough money to buy bread. I don't have enough money to buy bread. I'll put it in the cart. Do I have bills to pay? I'm gonna be fucked if I have bills. Oh my god. I could pay that. I have to wait on that $20 one. Press open? I did. That's why there's this woman just coming to buy fucking bags of sugar. $3.35. If you pick up a register and box it and throw it on the ground, then save the game and restart, you'll have another register. That's cheating. 6 for the 3. I already read that. And Lovely for the 3. Would you ever consider doing a dog treat tier list with Daisy? I would do a dog treat tier list where I rate them, but I don't think my dog's going to be able to say how much she likes a dog treat, so I don't know how that would even go. But he's going to buy one bag of fucking... Okay, no, he's not going to buy one bag of pasta. 27 fucking 80. Don't mind if I do there, buddy. Couldn't find eggs. He really wanted eggs. Dog breed tier list? You know how many fucking dog breeds there are? Am I really going to rate that many fucking dog breeds? I really want to buy a loan, but I think that's a fucking horrible play. Should I buy a loan? For the one time. For the one time we get a loan. Get a small loan. I can't change the loan price. I can get a loan for $700. I only can change how much it takes me to fucking pay it back. Gamble it? They don't have gambling in this game. Thank the Lord. They don't have fucking gambling in this game. Okay. Bank. 6-day loan. Daily payment. We'll do... Should we do 20 days? Should we do like a far... I'll do a 20-day loan. Fuck, man. Alright, well, now I should wait and start just selling shit. 16. Because we're going to buy all that other stuff the next day. I think that's what we need to do. You're going to go bankrupt? I'm not going to go fucking bankrupt. What happens if you go bankrupt in this game? That would be horrible. You probably have to restart. We'll wait, and then we'll buy the fridge next day. And then all the stuff for it. 920. I gotta pay off my rent, too. Oh my god, this guy's buying a fucking shitload of stuff. They're buying out all the coffee. They bought out all the coffee. Holy shit. Should I be restocking midday? This game is hard. I can tell it's gonna get way fucking harder. Hold up. Is this game free? No. Why are so many people asking if this game's fucking free? I'm gonna buy other shit. I need to buy other shit. I'm gonna start also buying... Fridge B. Let's get a big fridge. Add to cart. I'm going to get sliced bread and then products. I'm going to buy more coffee. I'm going to buy tea. I'm going to buy milk, eggs, water. Is this stupid? Cheese. That was just $500 fucking dollars. I just spent so much fucking money. I just spent so much fucking money, chat. Was that a good play or no? I hope it was. How do I rotate? Throw that shit here. That's a lovely fridge. I love that. It was a good investment. It's a good investment. It's gonna make me money back. Fucking give him $7. I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing the 10 cents. I'm not doing the 10-cent bullshit. I gotta stock stuff. We got eggs. We got eggs, everybody. We got eggs. We got a lot of fucking eggs, people. Get ready to fucking buy them. I gotta put prices on them. Hold up. This product needs to be on a shelf. That's fucking awkward. That's a lot. Put that there. Thank you. Oh my god, there's people waiting. This is why you have to do this shit before the fucking open. Hold up. Excuse me, ma'am. $1. There you go. $12.75. Leave. Next. Quick. $90? What the fuck, ma'am? Leave. Next. Milk. You better not try to... What? 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 I didn't even put a price. What? Is he buying it for what I'm buying it for? Fuck off. Hold up. He's buying it for what I'm buying it for. Yeah, try again, jackass. Hold up. What the fuck is this? They've been buying they've been fucking scamming me. What the hell? Now I'm freaking out that I've been doing that the whole fucking time. I didn't know he'd buy it for what I bought it for. Yeah, you better buy that shit for fucking $7. The other jackass got it for fucking $2. Hooligan for the sub. W4-hour stream. I'm running this shit for a little bit more. And then we'll do fucking philosophy. I set it to long stream day and I fucking mean it. Let's go. Easy. Lovely customer. Have a nice day, man. I appreciate your business. Displaying water. I feel like water's just useless to sell. Cheese is hot right now. People are fucking dying to buy cheese. More bread. Got that sliced bread. How the hell did she just come in? It's 9 o'clock, ma'am. You're not allowed to be here. Ma'am, you're not allowed to be here. Ma'am? Ma'am, don't even try and buy... Thought she was going to try and buy a bottle of fucking water. Swipe one under me, eh? How are they coming in at this time? Finish day. Hooligan for the sub. All right, start next day. Sliced bread is down, sugar is up, and milk is up. So milk is more. Sugar is more. And what else changed, chat? I don't even know. Bills. Oh my god, you have to pay every day? You have to pay that shit? It's $20 every fucking day. Purchase a new section using your computer to expand your store. What is a section? Chat, what the fuck is a section? Growth. Section. Expand by... I'm not doing that shit. I need money. When will Philosophy Reacts happen? Probably after this day. Hooligan for the sub. Alright. We need to get really stocked up on shit. So I feel like I should start buying everything that I don't have. Other than... Okay, we're gonna buy that. We're gonna buy that. We're gonna buy that. No, we're not gonna buy that. We're not gonna buy... We will buy sugar, whatever. Flour, bread, oil, eggs, cheese. Let's get more cheese. People be fucking with the cheese. I just bought way some... It's in the street. Nobody run over it. Nobody run over the fucking cheese, please. I think I bought too much cheese. I don't know if I'm going to have enough fridge space. This might be a problem. This might actually become an issue. Oh, fuck. I don't think I'm going to have enough storage for some of the shit that I just bought. That's bread. Put more bread down there. Put that away. What else do we have? More oil. Is this oil or juice? I don't even know. These sell well, and you get a lot of that shit. A lot of the teas. They sell for a good fucking price. Gotta restock the sugar. You know, don't want people to get all angry there. More flour. Probably didn't need more flour, in all honesty. Have probably too much flour. Probably gotta stop buying the flour. I'm gonna buy more coffee. I'm gonna buy a shitload of fucking coffee. I'm telling you, chat, that dark roast is about to be a fucking investment. A late game investment. This dark roast sells for a fucking pretty penny. People like coffee. I think that's fair. Ooh, 580. I think everything else is good. $3, $4.60, $3. The cheese is good. Do I have everything listed, chat? I need more pasta. That's the only thing I still need is pasta. And then we are ready to go for a fucking day. I just spent so much money, but I hope we make a fucking ass ton of it back. Otherwise, we're going to be in a shit show. Throw that there. Our fucking shelves are full and we're fucking open. We'll run this day. We'll save for another sim day. And then we'll fucking... Do you guys fuck with this game, by the way? I like it. I mean, if you guys like it, I'll definitely play it again. Instead of Storage Hustle until they update that. GTK and Matt for the sub. Hooligan for the sub. And then we'll run Philosophy Reacts. It's stressful, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really think it's stressful. I think it's just fun. It is one of those cool, like, upgrade sim games, though, where you can get, like, really good at selling shit. I have almost nothing right now, though. Yeah, he about to buy 1 million fucking eggs. I already know this guy. He trying to get... Okay, he buys water. I thought you were trying to get beefy, bro. My bad. Have a lovely day, sir. You're a great gentleman for giving me exact change. He's going to egg somebody's house. He just buys every carton of eggs that's in the entire grocery store. Do you think a grocery store would let you do that? Is there, like, a limit on how much you're allowed to buy? I remember during COVID there was, but, like, say now you walk up and you try to buy every gallon of milk they have. Would they let you do it? Yeah. I think they'd fucking let you. I mean, what are they going to be like? Oh, no, you're not allowed to fucking give us money? Like, way back, probably not. Like, when everybody was, like, short on toilet paper and people were, like, killing each other for fucking hand sanitizer. Yo, she's shopping. She's shopping, though. 5 cents. Big Milk wouldn't allow it? Oh, they would love you. They would love for you to buy all the milk. Big Milk doesn't care who drinks the milk. They just want the milk to be bought. Yeah, no, we're definitely... I think we're going to be set here. I'll be able to expand. Get a bigger 4x4 space. Maybe start getting new shelves. Dude, come on. Buy more than one item if you're going to come into my shop. Don't be a fucking asshole. You're going to get people who spend like $90. Oh my god, eventually when I have like freezers and shit, there's going to be people that spend like $400 on fucking food. Because they're going to buy 1 million items. And that's when you have to start buying, you have to start hiring cashiers to start helping you because you're going to have so many, you're going to have such an influx of customers that you can't do anything. Or you can't do it all yourself. Somebody redeemed Flex. Sir, you're going to have to wait. A chatter redeemed Flex. Thank you. 2230. Coming right up. Can a mod tell me what game this is? Buddy, look at the games. Look at the fucking game title, man. Supermarket Simulator. These guys look like twins. 2870. Big T guy, eh? Another big T guy, eh? Have a nice day, sir. Have a nice day. Come again. Is this the Fortnite update? Yeah, this is the new Fortnite version. They just came out with it. They saw that Fortnite Festival's not doing as well as they'd hoped, so they started Fortnite Supermarket. Back for the sub. Oh, fish sticks coming in right now. 2 bottles of water. Yeah, I might stop selling water. I swear to God. You make no money on water. That was Ellen? Was that fucking Ellen? Was that actually Ellen? It did kind of look like Ellen DeGeneres. A little more shriveled up. More raisin-like. Just flour. Another man coming in. Lovely customer. What is he going to buy? Eggs. Cheese. Don't tell me he just buys flour. I fucking hate you. What are you making? Cookies? You trying to cut your drugs there, man? What are you doing? Why'd you give me $7 if it costs $6? That doesn't make sense. You could have just said, you just handed me $1 and I gave it back to you. Ban Ellen now, overprice it for her. I used to fucking hate the Ellen Show. Any daytime TV talk show host. Matt for the sub. I feel like we're not getting that many customers. I really want to get... we're selling more, but I feel like we need more people at the store to be able to profit a lot. That guy's so creepy. Oh my god. And he's so much bigger than everybody else. Yeah, he just stacking up on that water. That water and flour. But he's making some brownies tonight. And that vegetable oil. Perfect change. 240. Bro dunks kids' heads into toilets. He does look like he just gives, like, random elementary school students swirlies. where he got held back like 7 years, and he's like fucking 25, and he's like a freshman in high school. Just water. Everybody's just eating up this fucking water. Damn, it's almost nighttime. I hope I reach like 560. How much of the loan do I have to pay back? 727. So we are still in a lot of debt. I definitely should pay that back early whenever I can. After I get like the next upgrade, whenever we do this next stream or whatever, not tomorrow, but next time we play this, I definitely got to fucking pay that early off. Just because the interest is going to be like another $200 extra. That's just a waste. Raise the price to $100 for water. Just buy all the water in the entire city and just charge people a fucking premium. I mean, does me having certain items make them come to the store more often? That might be the benefit, because it's not really that profitable for me to sell water. But if water is going to make them buy more products, then it might. Or it's just like maybe fractional increases, just having so many items that other people will come in. Raise the flour prices. A lot of people do buy flour, but I think it's just because it's cheap. Couldn't find cereal. Oh my god, I don't have cereal. But I think that's because it's over or underpriced right now. I think it's probably overpriced. So I'm not going to buy it. Just for it to go down. Economic simulator. I think that's why you have storage. Just so you buy an ass load of products that you think are going to go up. Well, that and if you overbuy. But also just so you can buy so many products. And then when they raise the prices, you bought them low and sell high. It's just the equivalent of fucking literally the stock market. Or crypto. One bag of flour. Oh, you got bread too. It is nighttime, chat. Time to finish the day. Day 5. Great profit. We made $342. We didn't really actually make that much money, but we have a lot of fucking we have a lot of stuff now. We start the next day. Tea is up, milk's up, coffee's up. All right. We'll save. And we quit the menu. Are we ready to hop into some fucking philosophy chat? For a wonderful philosophy stream. I'm hype. I hope you guys are hype. I gotta piss. I might also... Should I grab food? I don't know. I'm not that hungry yet. But I feel like we're gonna be watching this video for a while. And I might be. At some point. Where is it? The Afterlife tier list. Alright, hold up. Let me do a little rundown. For those of you that don't know... I'm a philosophy major in college. I'm about to get my degree in like a week or two. But I love philosophy. It's basically just talking about life, death, fucking the universe, morality, just all these broad topics that have, or very specific topics that basically have no definitive answer, but it's more subjective. It's very intertwined with religion. They're not the same thing. Theology and philosophy are different, but they're also kind of similar in the questions that they're trying to answer. But, we're going to be watching a video today called the Afterlife Tierlist, and it's basically just going to go into all of the different beliefs of what happens when we die. We're probably going to get off topic a lot, probably going to ramble a lot. That's fucking fine. You're allowed to share your opinion. Just be respectful, you know, after hours for the sub. Keep in mind, a lot of people are going to have varying opinions from your own. I'm probably going to have varying opinions from your own, right? The majority of Americans are Christian. I'm not. I'm going to have some, you know, opinions that I might say. Just don't be disrespectful, right? Respect everybody's beliefs. At the end of the day, I'm as likely to be right as you and vice versa, right? Okay. So we'll get into this in a second. If you don't want to watch it, you don't want to watch it. I am expecting people to leave because philosophy is not something that everybody enjoys. But I find it very fascinating. We also, you know, make some jokes, talk about some shit. And it's just, you know, really cool topics because it's basically, you know, talking about the meaning of everything in life because most people live day-to-day like NPCs and don't even think about, you know, their purpose or life or death or anything like that. But we're going to hop into that in a second. I have to piss real quick. Count me down. I'm gonna grab my food. So I might be like a minute and a half. Or like 2 minutes. I don't know for sure. Count me down though. I'm heating up my food and I'm grabbing water. I'll be back. 20 more seconds. All right. It's Brussels sprouts, some Spanish rice, and then some breaded chicken. Nothing too crazy. Just pretty casual W dinner. But yeah, let's lock in. I'll butt in. I'm probably gonna talk while I eat. I don't really give a fuck if you think that's gross. After for the sub, snuckle for the 3. I found a chocolate muffin in my bag I bought 9 days ago. Should I eat it? 9 days ago? I don't know. Probably not. All right. Lock in, chat. I'm taking a blinker so I can get deep into this. After I eat, I might, fucking rip an edible or fucking take more of a mini shield. Who knows? First bite. Lock in. What's up, Arsenal? Oh. Hold up. Let me change title. Lock in.
Do we continue to...
Not gonna lie, I left stream because I was tired. Came back. I remembered today was philosophy and came back, so I'm gonna stay now. Deb. Fuck for the 3. All right, lock in, chat. Type locked in. Type locked in. Type locked in.
Do we continue to exist after the death of the body? And if we do, what would that look like? I'm not suggesting that I know the answer to this question, and I also don't want to disparage any religious beliefs that help people come to terms with death. That's not really my bag. This video is just going to be analyzing some of the possibilities and trying to figure out whether they're good or bad.
It is a risky thing to tier list the afterlife. Because he might try. It's not going to offend people necessarily, but if he rates like heaven a D tier, I see he didn't add an F, which was probably a pretty smart decision on his end. Imagine he was like, Christianity F. I'm gonna slot that one in on. He just doesn't even say anything. That'd be so fucked. Hold up. I think it's good that he actually started with this one. As of right now, this is what I think. I think, for the people that don't know, I used to be a Catholic. I used to go to a Catholic school. Slowly became agnostic. I'm still agnostic. I'm not an atheist. A lot of people think that if you don't believe in an afterlife, you're atheist. That's not true. But I just think that when I die, I will cease to exist forever. Which is, like, really fucking daunting. And you also, like, dissociate a lot and shit when you think about it, like, really deeply. Like, holy fuck, I'm not gonna, like, I'm gonna fucking cease to exist and shit. When I like, really think about death, I just get in this, like, weird, not like a trance, but kind of freak myself out a little bit about it. But to me, the reason I've arrived at that is just, I feel like it's the null point, right? A lot of people, whenever I talk about philosophy or religion or anything, they try to get me to prove to them why God doesn't exist or why heaven isn't real or that stuff. But that's not the way it is. It's like a backwards thing, right? Oh my God, my dog's whining because I'm not giving her food. Daisy, go away. I'm sorry. I'm not feeding you. But, anyways. That's what I was saying. She's like, well, I hear her doing that, like, dog whine because I closed my door and she's, like, fucking standing outside just upset. As I was saying, it's like the null point to believe that when I die, nothing happens because there's nothing to incline me to believe otherwise, right? And so when I sit here and I have these conversations with, like, a lot of my friends that either have, like, varying beliefs of what happens when we die, whether it be reincarnation or this or that, it always ends up delving into me having to prove to them why there's nothing rather than them proving to me that there's something.
You die, and that's it. Nothing. You cease to exist. Death is the permanent end of experience. Eternal nothingness. This is the most straightforward scenario. Death is the end of life. So the idea that there is life after death.
Hinch, thank you for the 5 gifteds. Yeah, it's just an illogical thing for me to think that if death is the end of life and everything we view in life shows that death is the end of life, why would I believe that there's something beyond that? Obviously, there could be because nobody's ever died and came back. But there's nothing for me to believe, hey, when I die, I'm going to be thrown into another universe and another world and experience this whole other thing.
Death is obviously false. Our fear of death is biologically programmed into us, and to an extent it's unavoidable. But maybe philosophy can help us reason our way out of this situation. Is death bad? Well, you might say that someone dying is bad, because they're not around anymore. That person was there, and now they're not. But I don't think this is actually the key to the badness here. Let me hit you with this thought experiment.
We're naturally inclined to fear death. You're an animal at the end of the day, right? Just like a dog, cat, and everything. Your body is biologically enabling you to do everything in its willpower to not die. And, I mean, obviously there are use cases where people are depressed or something like that, but that's its own separate example where there are people that are suicidal or something that has nothing to do with the base ideology that if I tie your ankles to a fucking concrete block and throw you in the fucking water, you're going to try and get out, right? Regardless of what situation you're in, if I tie a 100-pound weight to you and fucking chuck you in a lake, you're going to try and fucking get out of it. Because you don't want to die, right? You're going to kick into an animalistic thing that you don't want to die. And so a lot of things, or how I perceive a lot of people's beliefs on the afterlife, are sometimes things to try and comfort them and get out of their mind this idea that I'm going to die, right? Because if you think that when you die you're gonna survive and move on and live forever, then there's no fear of death, because in your mind, Daisy, she keeps wedging the door open. Come here. Whatever. You can sit next to me. If she starts barking, I'm kicking her out, though. She's going to beg for food because she's a beggar. Sit down. Stop being mean to her. I'm not being mean to her, but she's very impatient. She's a very impatient dog. She will sit there and go like that. You'll hear it if she does it. Anyways, what the fuck was I saying? Oh, if you are going to die, right? And in your mind you're going to move on to some other realm and live forever as the same you, it removes the idea of death, which is very comforting, but in my opinion, I can't believe it because it's a false sense of comfort, because I don't truly believe that when I die, I will continue. I believe that when I die, I will die, right? I don't think there's going to be something else after that. I'm not judging people that do, and if you do believe that, I would love to hear why, but, I mean, we're also going to see that in the video. Hinge for the sub.
Let's say your best friend in the whole world is this guy, George. George spent...
It's very sad for the outside observer. Like, for somebody that... I mean, dying is a very sad and scary thing. But being dead is only scary for the people that know you're dead. You don't know you're dead. You're just fucking dead, right? You could fall asleep tonight and never wake up. You would have no idea that you didn't wake up because you don't exist anymore.
Years studying astrophysics, and he's about to go on an expedition to the Andromeda Galaxy to do research there for the rest of his life. You can't follow him there, and once he leaves, there will be no way to communicate with him ever again. That's a bit of a bummer.
Joe, a lot of people left. Yeah, and you're going to leave too because I'm going to time you out. Actually, untime them out. That was rude. I already said that people would do that. Most people don't really care about philosophy, and so I don't really, perceive that everybody will stay. Realistically, 1,000 people are going to fucking leave. I don't really give a fuck. Don't be like that. I'm not being rude. Humble for the 3. I randomly started questioning my morality and religion in class, and now I don't know what to do. I'm a Christian. I believe that it is logical that a creator and the Holy Trinity exists, but I mainly have been thinking about hell, and I don't believe good people who don't believe in God deserve hell. That's what started it with me. Like, my example that I always say was like Gandhi, like somebody that was like a very good person morally, even by the Christian morals, would still definitively go into hell because he didn't accept Jesus as his Lord and Savior. He never believed in Jesus. He believed in another religion his entire life, and he died believing that said religion. So it doesn't make sense to me that somebody that lives a great life, a moral life, and they help people would burn in hell forever because they don't accept Jesus. I could say the same about other religions, though. Morality is entirely intertwined with religion, but there's always some other rule set thing that is needed in regards to why you have to get this place or what you have to do and all this other stuff.
But now, let's say that instead of leaving, the rocket George is taking explodes immediately after launching, killing him instantly.
Wow.
The outcome is the same from your perspective. George is gone, and you'll never see him again. But the situation where the rocket explodes definitely seems worse. So the issue isn't just that George isn't around anymore. There's something important about the fact that George died. Okay, so instead of thinking about George, let's think about me. Death is bad because I won't exist anymore. And personally, I really like existing. Existing is pretty epic. Is it bad for me, though? When I'm dead, I won't exist. So who would it be bad for? It's easy to think that when we die, We enter into a kind of blackness, or void, and we place ourselves into it.
Yeah,
It's as
I think that's what everybody always perceives death as. Like a floating in nothingness, purgatory-esque area. But you would just, it would be sleep. You'd be asleep. It would be the equivalent of being asleep, but you don't have dreams. You're just dead. What you were before you were born is what you would have now. You would just be nothing with no perception, right? You would just be something that doesn't perceive. You wouldn't even be something.
as
That's
if we
terrifying. It is, and it still scares me, but a lot of people sway away from it because it's scary. But that doesn't mean it's illogical, right? I've had so many conversations where people are like, I'm like, I believe that nothing happens when I die. And they're like, that's fucking terrifying. Why would you believe that? That sentence doesn't make sense, right? That's terrifying. Why would you believe that? Is you telling me that I should have ignorance is bliss. You're telling me that I should just not even look at the possibility that I'm going to be fucking ceasing to exist in 50 years and just live my life and believe something else because the other something else is better than what could possibly be true.
sink into this pit of nothingness, and we're trapped there forever.
But fan, you still have a dream if you can die in your sleep. What?
We end up in this strange realm with no thoughts, no sensations, no experience.
What's some answers you want to know about Christianity? I don't really have any. I studied Christianity in high school and college. I've read a lot of the Bible. I just took a dangerous religions class about Judaism and Christianity. It's not for me right now. Will it be a thing for me one day? I don't know.
And this is something that we somehow witness for eternity.
Sorry I'm talking while I'm eating, but otherwise I would just sit in here in silence like it's a fucking XQC react.
But this doesn't really make sense. This is reifying nothingness. The comedian Norm Macdonald once said,
And then I came to a realization that you and death will never intersect. As long as you're here, death...
As long as you are here, death is not. If death is here, I am not. He's not the first person that said that.
is not. As long as death is there, you are not.
Yeah, but since you know it's coming.
Oh, but you don't want that.
He got
it's also the idea, knowing you're gonna die is a very weird problem because it's something that it is the only thing that is inevitable in your life. You are going to die, and you can't change that. And it is the hardest problem that most people will confront. Taxes, you could theoretically not pay your taxes and just evade the government. Like, would it work? No, you're probably going to get arrested and charged with tax fraud. But death is something that you can't change in any regard. You're going to die. You will die no matter what you do. No matter if you eat healthy, if you fucking never smoke, you never drink, you never do drugs, you never fucking do this, you study, you read, you help your brain, you prevent all these things, you do chemotherapy when you get cancer, you help your body in every way that you could possibly can. It's going to elongate it. You might live longer. You will still die.
this idea from the Greek philosopher
Is
Epicurus,
stream almost done? Fuck no, dude. I'm going to be live for like another hour.
who had a similar quote. So death, the most terrifying of ills, is nothing to us.
Yo,
since so
I know
long
you guys can't see it. My dog is fucking hyperventilating on my knee right now, and it's just making everything so much more unenjoyable. She has like a borderline panic attack when I'm fucking eating, and she's like literally right now she's looking at me because I'm looking at her, and she's going breathing that fast. Show her. Well, now she's not doing it. Now she's making me look like a liar. She just constantly goes back from side to side and waits for me to give her something. but I can't. If I do, she'll beg. She'll get so, oh my God, she'll get so annoying.
As we exist,
I'll read the donos when I'm done eating.
death is not with us. But when death comes, then we do not exist. It does not concern either the living or the dead, since for the former it is not, and for the latter are no more. Okay, but does it actually have to be bad for me for it to still be bad? Things can be bad in different ways. Putting my hand on a hot stove is bad because I'm experiencing the pain and the badness directly. Burning my hand is immediately and intrinsically bad. But let's consider a different scenario. Let's say I spend my evening scrolling TikTok. The whole time I'm mildly entertained. It's a neutral experience. But what if my friends had also invited me out that night? I was scrolling TikTok alone in my room instead of cracking a few cold ones with the boys, which would have been way more fun. That time I spent scrolling wasn't intrinsically bad, but it was bad compared to what I could have been doing instead. This example illustrates the deprivation account of why death might be bad. Not existing isn't bad in an inherent way, but it's bad compared to all the fun, meaningful experiences I could have if I continued to exist.
You know what existing is like, so you would prefer it, right? Obviously, when you didn't exist, there was no you. But if there was never a you, there would never be a you to be upset about not existing. You wouldn't have even known what existing was because you wouldn't exist. You wouldn't have the perception to be able to exist.
Okay, but let's take this non-existing thing a little further. What if I never existed in the first place? Would this be bad? Well, it seems bad for me because
I think about that all the time. That maybe I just don't even exist right now, right? Because there is such a large amount of time before and after my death that it will be as if I didn't exist to begin with, right? In the billions of years of life and existence, I was born in 2002, and I might live until, at best, 2080, 2090. That time frame is obviously only relative to people on Earth, but outside of that, it's so small in comparative to, it's like inconceivably small in comparison to the vastness of the universe and the length of the universe and just an infinite amount of time, that it will be as if I never existed to begin with. Obviously, I exist right now, but it will be as if I never did so soon from now. And I mean, you can see that even with your dead relatives, in the sense that your great-great-grandma, it's like she never even existed, because you don't fucking know her, and you'll never know her. She'll be forgotten if she hasn't already. She might be on a piece of paper in a family lineage, but 150 years down the line, you're going to be that great-great-grandfather, that great-great-grandmother that just never existed, right? It's just like, I exist because of all these people before me, and I'm so thankful for that, but I don't even know them, and I'll never know them, and no one will ever know them.
Do exist now, but this runs into some major problems. Think about all the possible people that could exist. Let's look.
If you don't believe in God, how do you think the universe just got created with the perfect amount of heat, gravity, etc.? No hate, though. Love your streams. It could just have always existed. Just like in your belief, potentially, God has always existed. The universe could also have always existed. Obviously, the Big Bang occurred, and that's kind of unexplainable. However, there could have been a universe before the Big Bang, and a universe before the Big Bang before that, and before that, and before that, and before that. You could have existed thousands of times, and this life has already ran its course multiple times over and over again. You just don't remember it because you've been reformatted and rechanged like materialistically thousands of times over the course of trillions of years. It could be an infinite loop, similarly to how God has always existed. The universe could have always existed as well, with no logic and no thing behind it, right? Because conversely, if you say why that doesn't make logical sense, I could say the same of God. Obviously, you're saying, okay, there has to be a cause, and so you're attributing that cause to God. But then I could conversely say there has to be a cause for God, right? And if you say, no, there doesn't, I could say the same of the universe. Obviously, there has to be a cause for a Big Bang, and there was maybe something before it. But, I mean, if you're saying that was God and there was nothing before God, I could just cut out that God step and just say the universe always existed, right? L-take? You could say L-take. I would advise you to say why it's an L-take rather than just sit here and type like a brain rot chatter. I'm not trying to be rude, but this is a philosophy stream. Instead of just telling me my opinion sucks, you could, perceivably provide a reason why you think it sucks. I don't care if you dislike my opinion. You're allowed to. Half of the people in my chat probably dislike my opinion. That's fine, right? That's the whole point of this. 8 shadow for the 3. Will we ever get rebooted? What if we die and snap back to when somebody reboots us? I don't think that would happen, especially if you get cremated. Or even if you don't get cremated. If you dig up a fucking grave from the 1800s right now, it's just bones. How are they going to fucking res you? It's not Fortnite. They're not going to grab your reboot card. Sauce for the sub, Jason for the 3. Will you ever do a talk with viewers on Discord about philosophy? Maybe, but I don't know how that would go. And people would get really too emotional, in all honesty. Because it would never end up becoming a discussion. It would end up being, like, them trying to disprove me. And vice versa, right? Ali for the 3. I get scared when I think about eternal life. Because what if I get bored and when I pray, I worry I'm praying to the wrong God or nothing? What if I get bored and when I pray, I worry I'm praying to the wrong God or nothing? Oh, you're saying if you get bored in eternal life. Well, I want you to know that eternal life is probably not just going to be you sitting in a floating cloud for eternity. It would probably be more of a oneness with God. I mean, obviously, I am not a fucking demigod, and I can't tell you what death is like, but I would assume that heaven is not you just sitting on a fluffy cloud with a fucking bearded white man. It would probably be just like a no-time eternal bliss, right? Officer for the 4. I don't say this in a mean way. I feel like religion is a way to cope with death, to believe there is something beyond death, but there is only nothing. I think that the start of religious belief, if you go way back to early human civilization, was a way to cope with the fact that somebody had died. Like, if you were an ancient human and your dad died and you buried them, because humans buried their family members for thousands of years. They wanted to come up with a reasoning, because obviously we're humans that ask why, what, when, where, who. And it's more comforting to assume that when somebody dies, something happens, rather than they're dead, they're gone, and that's going to happen to me. It's a much more haunting feeling, and faith-based beliefs usually capitalize on that, and then aid you in some way by helping you with there. Somebody said, what is this stream with a laughing emoji? Philosophy. Buddy's not an avid viewer. We already know that. Officer for the 4. Humble for the 3. You made me think about existence, morality, and religion. Now reasoning what the meaning of life is, which is my opinion, except for religion, just happiness, experiencing things, and helping others. Milkshake for the 3. I'm forced to be Christian, even though I think the religion doesn't make sense. Then you're not Christian. You're not Christian if you truly don't believe in it. You could say you're Christian, but if you don't believe in it, then you're not a Christian. It's the same thing as in, like, Christianity or religious purposes. If you do an action just because it's a good action, you're a good person. But if you do an action for an ulterior benefit, then it's not actually a good action. It's a false facade, right? Same thing as, like, when people tell me you should just believe in God because it makes sense to. I agree, but I can't force myself to believe in something. I could sit here and tell everybody that I believe in Jesus and that when I die, I'm going to go to heaven. But when I die, say Jesus does exist and God does exist, they will know that I was lying, right? Because they would know me. And they would know that I didn't truly, deep down, believe in that. And I can't force myself to. Great for the sub, humble for the 3. King and Neptune for the sub. Lock back in here.
Look at our current generation right now. Let's say there are about 5 billion people who could reproduce. Half men and half women. Each man could technically create a new person with each woman. And beyond that, every single egg-sperm combination of each of those pairs would also create a different person. If a different sperm won the race, I wouldn't be the same person I am now. I would be my sibling. As a rough calculation, that's 2.5 billion women times 30 years of reproduction times 12 eggs times 2.5 billion men times 50 years of reproduction times a conservative 365 ejaculations per year times about 40 million sperm per ejaculation. That works out to this number, 15 with 32 zeros. And this is still only a tiny fraction. All of those potential people could also have children with each other. This could go on for potential generation after potential generation.
Yeah, that's why I always say the odds do exist are so low. Not only just because of the base account that your parents would meet and you're the sperm cell that fucking made it, but also that repeatedly over and over again, every generation before you, going back millions of years, coupled with the fact that everybody on that exact day would have to fuck on that exact moment, and that sperm cell would have to go into that egg, and then it would have to be literally that repeated hundreds of thousands of times.
If the deprivation account is true, you have to feel sorry for this infinite amount of people who never got the chance to exist. That seems like a bit too much.
Only race I ever won, you might have not run the race. Just because you're alive doesn't mean you were the quickest sperm cell. It means you were the one that made it, right? There are some sperm cells that can be quicker than you and make it first before the egg is ready, and they die, and then you make it in time. It's you made it at the right time. You weren't necessarily the fastest or the strongest, but you were the one that got lucky. You made it at the exact moment that you needed to make it.
Much emotional labor for me. Okay, but we can just fix this by adjusting the deprivation account a little bit. Instead of a deprivation of life, it's a deprivation of a life that actually existed at some point. This seems to have filled the hole I just poked in the argument. But there's still a problem. The section of time after your death isn't the only section of time you don't exist. You also don't exist before you're born. But who really cares about that? If you told me that I'm only going to live to age 50, I would be bummed out, and I would wish that I could live longer.
Yeah,
But
you're not wishing that you were born earlier.
I don't wish that I was born 50 years earlier. We seem to care more about existing in the future than existing in the past. So to sum things up...
Well, because it's the start, right? And the best way that you can comfort yourself, right, is that... not the best way, but the way that I think about it is instead of thinking that you're going to die and the universe is going to move on without you, perceive it as that your universe and everyone is their own universe. And when you are born, that is the start of your universe. And when you die, that is the end of the universe, right? In your mind and in general, don't even think, hey, when I die, it's going to continue on. Be like, it's the end of my universe, right? It's the end of my life, my universe, and everything that I've ever known and loved, it's gone, right?
Non-existence after death is a complicated issue. Personally, I'm sympathetic to the deprivation account. I like existing a lot, but this is also the perspective of a guy who exists, which is definitely biased. I'll put nothingness in B tier.
Bro, I need to put my empty plate away. My dog's just fucking breathing on me. Count me down 20 seconds, bro, please. All right, we're back. Lock the fuck in. Mean and fun for the sub, humble for the 3. The Christian God is supposed to be completely fair in judgment. God reveals himself to people throughout their life so they can get the choice to follow or not. Even though there is a fair choice, if you choose not to follow him, then you go to hell. Then the thing is, I disagree with, though, is the eternal torment part. I hope hell is just eliminated from existence. Daisy! Oh my god, no. Stop coming in here, please. I'm sorry. I don't have food, bro. She's a fiend. The thing is, I disagree with, though, is the eternal torment part. Hope hell is just eliminated from existence instead of suffering for people, but the Bible doesn't really talk about the afterlife a lot. Yeah. Fun for the sub.
Ranking heaven in a video like this is a little tricky. Religions that describe a heavenly realm are usually pretty vague about what it's actually like there.
Joe, we care too much about our presence in other people's universes to think that way. Yeah, but I mean, then you can go into the idea of Buddhism, and nirvana is the idea of reaching non-existence, right? That's part of the problem, is that you have a personal affinity of what other people believe about you and everything, right? You have your own personal identity. You have all of this stuff, when in reality, you're just a thinking thing, right? And if you can get deep down to the idea that you're a thinking thing and root yourself in, like, this inner peace that it doesn't fucking matter, right? I mean, it's much more complicated than that. I'm just explaining it in, like, very brutish terms. But you would reach nirvana, which is, like, inner peace in life, and then when you die, you cease to reincarnate, and you just cease to exist, right? Like, the goal in Buddhism is nirvana, and that is the ceasing of the cyclical death and rebirth. Ethan for the 3. I think there's nothing after death, but there's also no way we just spawned in and the universe just spawned in. We were just sailing through the space on a rock. We just survived. How could this have all come? The only reason you think that, though, is because you're human, right? Like, you're naturally inclined to have this thought that everything has a cause before it, and that we need to know, okay, there was something before that. There was something before that. Because in your life, you existed, and there was something before you existed, and there was something before that existed, right? And so on and so forth. And so you're like, there's no way we just came in here. But, I mean, they're both as illogical, right? You're saying there's no way we came here. Okay, and I'll lean into that. So you think it's more logical that forever there was a continuous death, birth, death, birth, death, birth, death, birth, death, birth. If you're saying it doesn't make sense that we just spawned in, what is the alternative? That there was something before that. But then you could say there was something before that. And it's just an endless loop of saying, hey, this existed. There's something before that that also existed. Somebody just asked me to play Supermarket Sim. Mods, time them the fuck out. I just played that. Chase for the 3. It says in the Bible you forget everything about the earth, so I have to deal with the fact I forgot my friends and family if they don't go to heaven as well. Hillary for the 3.
It's described as this perfect, beautiful place with no pain and suffering, where we can
think there's an afterlife? No.
live in bliss and worship God for eternity.
Naki for the substats for the 3. If it's possible, you would upload consciousness to a supercomputer or simulation if theoretically possible. Yeah. Would I upload my own consciousness? Yes. Or are you curious of the afterlife as I am, no matter if it's nothingness, reincarnation? If you were able to put my consciousness in a computer and I could live forever, I would genuinely think about doing it.
But is this kind of immortality something we actually want? The deprivation account might say yes. Not existing is bad, because you'll miss all the fun. So if we live forever, that would be ideal. Well, not exactly.
You need to post on YouTube? I actually have a philosophy video that I want to post, but Cloak will, refuse to get me the thumbnail for it. And so it's just taking... I'm actually going to fucking message him right now. Hold up. Hold up. Where the hell's Cloak? Is this Cloak? At Cloak. Get me death thumb / other thumbs. Been waiting on death one a lot. I can post that today, honestly. Alright. Lock back in. It's Scale and Naki for this up.
At a certain point, there might not actually be anything interesting for existence to give you. You wouldn't be deprived.
You missed my bits? I did read your bits, Buck. Oh, the only question I have was what was there before Adam and Eve? Because how were there things before humans? Like dinosaurs. Well, I mean, if you're thinking in the religious perspective, they would just say God spawned them. But if you're thinking in the biological perspective, evolution, and that Adam and Eve are the first Homo sapiens, Foxy for this up.
Of anything. Imagine a classic idea of heaven.
All right, lock it!
We all turn into angels and spend eternity singing psalms together or something. Singing psalms is probably pretty fun to do for a while, but doing that for all of eternity seems a little excessive. What kind of life would be worth living forever? This isn't just 100 years, 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years, or 1,000,000,000 years. This existence has no end. There are some things I love doing. Eating lamb vindaloo, solving Minesweeper puzzles, listening to Beach House, whatever. But after the first 100,000 years of doing that, it would probably get a bit stale. Okay, well let's say you take a different approach, and you try to make the most of your time. You spend 1,000 years writing novels, 1,000 years painting. You learn how to play every single instrument at an expert level. You will always...
I think that's inclining that you would be in your human form and you would learn all these human-based things. I think it's the idea that, like, the way I would perceive heaven, I'm not saying Christianity, I'm just saying in general, the way I would perceive heaven is just an eternal, no time existing, just feeling of fucking bliss forever. But then are you even you? If I'm not having like a conscious thought about it, what am I? Am I just like a fucking thing that's feeling dopamine at all times? I don't know, man. Ethan for the 3. The only way we could know about God is if he was real, as if we invented him. But if he No. The only way you can know about God is if he's real is not true. The reason you know about God is because he's the alternative of things that we are not, right? Humans are naturally inclined in dualism, right? Because you see things. You've grown up as a Homo sapien, as an animal, seeing things that are hot, cold, life, death, right? And everything that you are not, you prescribe to God. You are mortal. God is immortal. You have problems. God is perfect. You are weak. God is powerful, right? It's not, that doesn't mean just because that you've created the mind of God that that means it existed. You're using things that have, you're just using the opposites of things that have already existed. It's not that outlandish to come up with the idea of God based on things that are already existing. I will agree, yes, your brain is incapable of perceiving things that have not already existed, right? Anything that you could perceivably come up with is just a combination of things that you have already experienced. But God falls into those categories because he's just the opposite. He is just the opposite of everything that you are, right?
Always run out of things to do. At some point, you will have done it all. You might be able to fix this problem with some kind of amnesia system. Let's say you get bored after about 1,000 years of doing stuff.
Turn to Christ the Savior. Bro, I'm not upset that you're saying this, right? But I've thought through my religious, endeavors with Christianity, and I'm just sharing my opinion. Instead of actually saying something, you're just telling me to turn to Christ. I'm not going to immediately go, oh, you know what? Oh my God, you know what? Oh yeah. No, I am so ingrained in philosophy based on reason, not you just telling me to believe in something, right? Like, the amount of people that have told me I need to believe in this, I need to believe in that, in not even just Christianity, a very wide array of religions, telling me I should fall into whatever religion or faith they believe in. If you just tell me to believe that, that's not going to make me believe that, You have to convince me, right? I'm not upset that you said that. I'm fine with you saying turn to Christ. You can say that. I'm not upset about that. However, if you're trying to, I'm giving you advice for when you try to convert people to Christianity or whatever religion you may believe in. If you just tell them to believe in that, that's not going to make them believe in that. You have to give reasoning, right? And say, hey, you should turn to Christ because, but don't say because you're going to burn in hell otherwise, because that's fear-mongering, right? That's another thing that I get all the time. Joe, you should turn to Christ because if you don't, you're going to burn in hell. That's fear-mongering. That's you trying to get me to believe in something by saying the alternative is terrible and torture, right? That's not convincing me. That's basically telling me that if I don't, I'm going to die and burn forever. That's a bad reasoning, right?
At this point, you start to lose your memories and forget what you did a few hundred years ago. By the time you're at 2 billion years, you could barely remember what you spent your time doing as a young 100...
But it is true if you don't, in your opinion. It's faith, after all. Strong belief in God or the doctrines of religion based on spiritual apprehension rather than proof. See, this is what I meant when I said I wanted to start with an open mind, right? I wanted to start with an open mind, and I wanted to see all of these things equally rather than having this bias that's based... I understand I'm having an opinion that is disagreeing with this, but I'm also trying to see the heaven perspective and all these other perspectives from a neutral standpoint rather than saying, but it's true though, but that's not true though, right? Like, you're not listening to anything. You're just telling me it's my way or the highway, basically.
Million-year-old angel. At this point, you've changed.
Can you react to Cliff? Exclamation point Discord. Video /tab.
You have different tastes, a different personality, and you...
Brother, remember, always be prepared to give a reasoning for your faith. Read 1 Peter 3:5, give facts, and why you believe. Are you telling me to read that? I'll read it right now. For this is the way the holy women of the past who put their hope in God used to adorn them. They submitted themselves to their own husbands. What does that mean?
You spend your time doing things that you wouldn't imagine doing before. But is this really worth it? There is continuity between the young angel me and the old angel me. But is it still really me? I don't even remember the previous me existing at all.
I mean, you could say that about life, too. Like, when you look back at your previous self, it's technically not you, right? You exist in the same body and form, but who you were 5 years ago is not who you are now.
Personality is totally different, too. And I'm probably hanging out with different angel friends. I don't think I'd want something like this. Alright, but maybe instead of having to try to do interesting things or entertain yourself, you just experience complete bliss for eternity.
Well, yeah.
Maximum pleasure. This seems appealing at first, but it also reminds me of something. There was a study where they attached electrodes to a rat's brain that released an intense burst of pleasure. They hooked this up to a button that the rat could press whenever it wanted. As you might expect, the rat just sat there pressing the button over and over until it died. But I'm not a rat, I'm a human. And it might sound arrogant, but I somehow feel like I'm above that kind of thing. I'd probably really enjoy the intense bliss for the first few thousand years, but then I'd start to think to myself, is this all there is? Okay, so here's a heaven I think would actually be desirable. You can hang out there as long as you want, but the door is open. Once you're satisfied with all the things you've done, you can peace out. This scenario seems pretty good. The problem is we don't really know which of these situations heaven would actually be, and some of these cases are just totally made up to fix the boredom problem. I think the standard understanding of heaven is just that you live forever in a perfect place. If that's the type of heaven we're working with, I'm not a huge...
I think it's living forever in the kingdom of God. You are a part of God. You are one with God, right? I can understand that, but that's also just very vague in the sense of what it would be.
Fan. C tier. Inferno, the first part of Dante's Divine Comedy, is probably the most famous depiction of hell. It has 9 circles, filled with horrible punishments like boiling in pools of blood or being submerged in frozen lakes. Even Buddhists...
I have just never enjoyed the idea of hell. I have always perceived the idea of hell as something that is... Or this idea of hell. Not the idea of hell as the absence of God, right? But the idea of hell is like 9 circles of burning forever and just like, this is torture for the rest of eternity. It just seems like a means of getting me to agree with it, whatever the belief may be in the real life, right? Like, it's, I don't want to say fear-mongering, but it's more so just, why? Why would I burn forever? I don't understand that.
Has different types of hells with intricate...
That's not biblical? Well, yeah, no, this is not biblical.
Punishment.
This is literally what he was saying. It's just it's like a satirical thing.
Like the realm of the hungry ghosts.
But a lot of people's perceptions of hell is this. Not the 9 circles, but a lot of people's perceptions of hell is just burning forever. Chat, if you just at me in these comments, I'm not going to read what you say. Okay, I want you to know that. The amount of people that are typing paragraphs right now, I'm not able to read all of them. And you just spam adding me the same 6 fucking paragraph sentences that you're sending me, I'm not going to have time to fucking read all that. Okay? Hell doesn't exist. The Bible doesn't mention it in true translation. In fact, the term hell is recent. Hebrew is Sheol. In Greek, Hades. Refers to the grave, not hell. Also, people would bring up that Jesus said, if you don't follow me, you'll go to hell. But no, he didn't say hell. He'd say Gehenna, or a place where dead bodies were thrown in a graveyard. Yeah. Ethan for the 3. You want my honest take? I think hell was created to fearmonger people into an organized-based religion. I don't think it was necessarily meant to actually say, when you die, there's going to be a fucking red guy stabbing you with a pitchfork for eternity, right? Like, I don't think that I don't think that Christianity or Jesus was saying, this is my own personal opinion again, I don't think that Jesus was saying that when I die and I go to hell, I'm just going to fucking go, and I'm just going to be like, forever, right? That, like, I don't think that's what they were getting at, you know?
There are a lot of different depictions of what hell would actually be like, so I won't spend too much time on the details here. at least in the biblical tradition.
Yo, bro. What, Taylor? That's not hell either. I said it's not. I'm not saying what Christianity is saying, Taylor. I'm saying what people have said that are a part of it or believe themselves. I'm not saying that that is what Christianity as an organized religion says or whatever denomination you may believe in. Oh, I was laughing at you?
It's important to understand that hell is a very complicated issue.
I apologize for writing a paragraph. You're allowed to write a paragraph. I'm just saying don't spam at me so I read it.
From what I gather, a lot of the colloquial understanding of hell comes from
those people led me wrong. Well, I think those people led themselves wrong. I don't think anyone led me wrong. It always comes back to whenever I talk about this, somebody saying that I was misled and that's why I'm not believing in whatever you believe. That's not that I've derived this opinion on my own, right? Obviously, my opinion has been affected through experience, but whatever falsified experience there has been, I have been taught through Catholicism from priests or Christianity and theology in college what the genuine religion believes, and I have sided against it, right? Not sided against it, meaning like I don't like it, but just, hey, I'm not agreeing with that, right? I don't think that that is true.
Medieval art and literature, and isn't actually directly based on anything the Bible says.
You ever sat down and read this thing? Technically, we're not allowed to go to the bathroom.
Some people believe that when the Bible says eternal fire, it might not necessarily mean eternal torment. It could be that you had a soul, but it gets destroyed if you're a sinner. That would make this situation similar to nothingness. You don't experience suffering for eternity. You're just denied entry into the afterlife. But for this video, I'll consider the most common interpretation of hell, some kind of eternal suffering. If that's hell, I don't think my placement here will be particularly surprising. It's safe to say that suffering is bad. It's like burning my hand on a hot stove, like I mentioned earlier. We have an immediate, absolute aversion to the conscious experience of suffering. It's a fundamentally negative state of being. And not only does suffering suck, but our damnation would, in fact, be eternal. When I talked about heaven, I came to the conclusion that immortality itself comes with downsides, even if you're free to do whatever you want, or experience intense bliss. Here, all the bad things about eternity are combined with a constant state of suffering. Bottom tier.
The idea of being a ghost just seems worse. Just because you exist in like an in-between. You still exist on Earth, but in a non-physical form, and you're like stuck. That sounds fun. No, it does not. Like, imagine being a ghost from like fucking 2 million years ago. Not like a human ghost, but just a ghost. Like, what if you're like a dinosaur?
Ghosts, apparitions, phantoms, specters, spirits.
Ghouls. Son of a bitch.
Surprisingly, something like 18% of Americans believe they've had an encounter with a ghost. If you were a ghost, you would be condemned to exist in the realm of the living, no clipping through surfaces and witnessing your loved ones going through their lives. Maybe this is some kind of limbo state before you go to some afterlife, but for now we'll just consider the ghost life. The only way you can communicate with people is with a Ouija board, which, by the way, is created by Hasbro, the same company that makes Monopoly and Connect 4.
Bro, I did not know that. Hasbro made the Ouija board?
Your only line of communication to your relatives is through 13-year-olds trying to induce a paranormal experience at 3 a.m. I feel like that would get pretty frustrating. Maybe you'd be condemned to haunt a particular location for some reason. Maybe you were murdered in a particular house, and now you have to spend eternity shifting around items on the counter to freak out.
That's what I don't get, because like you have to spend eternity in this house. What if they just wreck the house down? Oh, well, you're still in that property. What happens when the sun explodes and fucking Earth dissipates into nothingness?
Whoever happens to live in that house in the future. Maybe some guy is being too much of a greedy capitalist on Christmas, and you need to visit him one night and show him visions, teaching him about the errors of his ways, and inspiring him to care more for others during the holiday season. In any of these cases, I think this would be a pretty bad existence. The stuff you're able to do would get really boring really quick. It's not quite as bad as hell with the whole eternal suffering thing, but I'll still put it in bottom tier.
Reincarnation is it's such a fascinating topic, but it's also like it's banking on the idea of a soul, and it's banking on whatever reincarnation beliefs you may have, right? Like, some people believe that you can only be reincarnated as other humans, some believe that you could be reincarnated as any animal, and some believe that you could be reincarnated as things that are not animals or things that exist on this planet, like gods or ghosts or demons or whatever it may be. So, like past lives, well, this is not the egg theory. The egg theory is a form of reincarnation, but depending on what religion or what faith-based belief you may be talking about, what they think you may be reincarnated as changes.
What in tarnation? It's time to talk about reincarnation. Incarnation, more like...
And then the issue with reincarnation is if reincarnation... the egg theory makes sense more to me than other forms of reincarnation, because in the egg theory, we are all the same person. And I will live every life that has ever existed, and you will live every life that has ever existed, because you are me and I am you. That makes sense because there's one of us. But if reincarnation is like an undetermined amount of souls that come into the world and are reincarnated until they reach like a bliss state or nirvana or some other form, how many exist? Right? Say reincarnation is true. How many souls are new souls, and how many are souls that are pre-existing souls, or souls like, am I new, or are you old? Are we the same? Like, it gets so confusing in like where that lands and when new are made and how do you know. I'm a Joe B for the 3. My problem with traditional religions is that most of them claim that God is all-knowing and all-powerful and all-good, which, given the current state of the world, is impossible. Because if he were all-good, the world would be heaven. Assuming he was all-powerful and could make it happen, therefore he cannot be both if he is real. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, Neil deGrasse Tyson has like a famous, I think it might have been a TED Talk or a fucking show. It has like millions of views of him saying that God cannot be all-powerful and all-good, and he cites all these examples historically. He can be both. I mean, that is your opinion, Taylor, but I mean, you could cite many historical opinions, which Neil deGrasse Tyson and many other people have tried to cite, where God could have stepped in and didn't, right? Like, not even just in the sense of like murder from one human to another, because that defense is free will, but in the sense of like natural disasters. Like, if you were somebody that lived on a town hundreds of years ago and a tsunami came over and fucking killed your whole town, God could have stepped in, right? That's kind of the argument, that if God were all good, he would have, right? Instead of just giving you half of an existence just for you to die early and young when it had nothing to do with your own fault or free will.
Like the United States of America, with their lack of walkable...
It's for a reason. That's what a lot of people say. But what would that reason be? And that was my issue, right? That was one of my issues when I started, like, you know, battling with my own faith, was, what is that reason, right? I was always told everything happens for a reason. What? What is that reason, right? And you're told not to question it, right? And that it is more, you know, beyond you than you may see. But that seems more like wishful thinking, right? Rather than an actual faith belief. Me saying, oh, that happened for a reason. What is that reason? I don't know. God knows, right? Then it's just me comforting myself when something shitty happens, rather than me truly finding a reason that did occur. Obviously, yeah, if you were like, this tsunami wiped out this, and then in turn a million fucking things went good, you could say, okay, yeah, that like makes sense. But I mean, conversely, you could say if God is all powerful and everything needed to be happen for a reason, nothing needs to be happen for a reason. If God is all powerful, he can make anything happen under any terms in any regards that he wants. If there's a reason for something, he can change that reasoning because he is all powerful, right? Like, if a tsunami came and wiped out the entire United States by fucking some magical feat, and somebody was like, that happened for a reason, he could have just moved us. He fucking moved me like I'm a Sims character. It affects everything, but he could change that because he's all powerful, right? It affects everything, but he knows what things are affected, right? And if it's free will and he knows it's going to change these things down the line, and so he had to induce this thing, then it's not really free will because he has hands-on work, right? And things are changing. It just becomes like an argument on whether or not he has the power to do it, and if he does, why he didn't, right?
Cities and reliance on the automobile. Incarnation.
That's how sin is? Yeah, but then you get into the argument of morality and why things are the way they are, right? I always, whenever I talk about religion, it always roots back to morality, because I think morality is the most fascinating thing in the world, and that what we deem as right and wrong is only applicable to humans and only applicable to our Earth and only applicable to our time. If you fast forward 1,000 years in the future or the past, everything changes. What is right and wrong entirely changes, because what people deem as good and bad changes. Morality, in my opinion, evolves like humans do and animals do biologically. Just as people change physically, they change emotionally and mentally over time. What your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandkids fucking 20 generations down are going to believe is good for other people is not going to be what you believe, right? I mean, you can even go back historically 100 years and have a conversation with somebody from the 1900s and say what they think is right and wrong. And they're going to disagree with you on not a million things, but some. And the more you go back and back and back, you're going to disagree more and more until you reach the nobles, in which point there was just not even a fucking facility of what was good and evil. It was just you do what you have the power to do. There for the three. Kind of having a problem right now. Like, even if you were just the kindest person on earth, made a lot of changes, become CEO, billionaire, eventually you'll be forgotten. So I've been struggling a lot finding like a valid actual purpose, because I feel like no matter what I do, I will never be important or substantial enough to amount. That doesn't matter. That if you want me to be real, that doesn't matter. You're viewing this as that you're the center of the universe, right? And that your life has to have some monumental meaning that other people will remember. You're not God, right? You are not somebody that needs to be. Why do you need to be remembered? What makes you need to be remembered? The fear of death, right? And that some form of you will be continuing on. I think the idea that you will be forgotten is very sad, but it is also empowering in the sense that you will not need to worry about all of these monumental things that you think matter when in reality they don't. If you're sitting here saying, I need to be remembered, I need to do this, I need to do that, every minor mistake in your life is going to fucking stress you the fuck out. But if you think, hey, I'm going to not exist in 80 years, let me just live the life that I want to live and, treat people with respect and fucking experience as much as I can before I die, that's your purpose, right? Why do you need to become a president and fucking rule the world so people talk about you in history class while they're fucking hitting their cart in the back left of the classroom thinking about fucking Abraham Lincoln and how they don't care, right? Like, it's gonna be shit like that, right? Like, I'm not saying they don't matter, they do, but like, what do you want to be George Washington? You want to be Howard Taft? You want to be that guy that they talk about in history class when people just kind of mull over it with like no thought, and it's like, yeah, Abraham Lincoln, yeah, John F. Kennedy, yeah, fucking, oh my God. It's just gonna be that, right? It's not like a meaningful remembrance. I'm a Joe B for the 3. Already read that. Sometimes chat annoys me with these streams because you can tell most of the chat has never questioned their upbringing, are likely incapable of having a genuine conversation or disagreement without disproving their own beliefs. I'm agnostic, by the way. Well, no, I don't think that's there. It's not. I think my chat's, I respect my chat for even fucking being here, right? I think that everyone is ingrained in their own beliefs, and breaking those beliefs is very hard, right? And that's with anybody. I'm not sitting here to change what you believe, and I would likewise, say we're just having a conversation. I will say there are chatters that are obviously trying to change what I believe, right? When I say something, they're upset and they're trying to tell me to turn to Christ or something like that. It's what they've been taught to do. It's what they want to do. It's fine, right? I'm not mad at that. And I'm not saying they're dumb for that or that they haven't thought about their existence. It's what they believe, right? And it's what they believe they should do. What I will say is this is just supposed to be a conversation. We're just supposed to, talk about this And if it changes your opinion, if it changes my opinion, that's great, right? But that's just the end of the thing. Mods, time out everybody that's saying kaboom. Mods, time out every single person that's saying kaboom. I swear to God, I'll throw this chat in fucking emote only so fucking fast, you have no idea. It's going in sub only. It's going in sub only. Don't care. Post it for the 3. As I would, literally nobody's listening to me. It's like I'm talking to a fucking wall. Mods, time them out. Literally a year-long sub just spammed kaboom. We'll see you in a fucking month. We'll see you in a fucking month. Boast it for the 3. I believe that God created the earth and maybe the universe, so I'm not going to say that what you say is my answer, but I'm going to think about your answer as an opinion. I felt you were the perfect person to ask a philosophy major. I'm only 15 and still a Catholic, so I don't know what I think. Sorry for the long message. Full for the 3. Why do you think people who follow religion always try to bring people to their specific religion? Because it's what they believe they should do, and that's the idea of organized religion. Organized religions spread their religion, right? And so you're trying, because you believe that your faith is the way and all other ways are wrong. And so you are trying to save people by getting them to believe in your way, which is what a lot of the chatters are trying to do with me. I'm letting you know, I'm just going to glance past it, right? I'm not in a rude way, but I'm saying, like, I'm just trying to watch this video and talk about what we think about. You're still very welcome to share your own opinion, but if you're trying to convince me to be Christian, that is not the purpose of this stream or this, you know, whole thing that we're doing right now. We're sharing our opinion. You could share your Christian opinion. You could share your Buddhist opinion. You could share whatever. But if you're sitting here trying to tell me that I need to turn to Christ or I'm going to burn, you're not getting why I'm here. I'm not sitting here asking for that. I'm just trying to, I really enjoy talking about these things because I think they're fascinating, and I think people can change their own opinions or formulate their own opinions better by doing this stuff rather than just believing what your parents may believe. I'm not saying you shouldn't believe what you believe currently, but you can maybe solidify them more or tweak it or change it in whatever way that you may see fit. Snaggy in hell for the Subway go for the 1256. Been watching your videos on YouTube for months. Wanted to show my appreciation. Dub. All right, lock in.
Reincarnation is when you die and then start a new life in a different body, repeating the cycle of life and death for eternity. This idea is very, very old, and there are a lot of different takes on how exactly it might work. According to the Hindu tradition, we all have souls that get passed along through lifetimes, which explains how there's continuity from one life to the next. In very early Hindu culture, there was an almost Christian understanding of an afterlife, with a heaven and a hell. Depending on how good of a person you are in life, you end up in one of those places. But some people thought that this was too black and white. People aren't either good or bad as a whole. It's a gradation. Being good and being evil has levels to it. If you're like a slightly alright person, you'll end up in heaven with Mother Teresa and Mahatma Gandhi. But if you're a bit of a bad dude, you'll end up in hell with Hitler. This doesn't really seem fair. But reincarnation kind of fixes this. You end up reincarnating into a new existence, directly proportional to how good you are. If you're a decent enough guy, you'll get a decent reincarnation. But if you're really min-maxing your karma, you'll get a pretty sweet reincarnation. But for the Buddhists, there isn't actually anything concrete like a soul that's carrying over. Buddhism has the famous teaching of no self, or anatman, which is the idea that nothing in the world has any kind of permanent essence to it, including our personhood. For the Buddhists, what we think is our self is composed of the 5 aggregates: form, the body, perception, consciousness, feeling, and fabrication. These structures are impermanent, but in the cycle of existence, that's what's being carried over into the next life. You can think of it kind of like the band King.
Talk about souls. I can perceive myself more in these 5 realms than the idea of a soul. I don't know what I personally believe about a non-physical form of me moving into another life or an afterlife. Snaggy and A Goody for the Subfuego for the 1256 again. Ordered some of your merch, but I live in England. Do you have any idea how long it'll take to be there? No. That really depends on UPS shipping.
Crimson. Over the years, a lot of the members have left the band, and new ones have joined.
What religion are you studying, finding out about, and might become? I like learning about every religion ever. I am not currently trying to become one.
A few years, none of the founding members were there anymore. It's all new people, but it's still King Crimson. This is what the mind is like in Buddhism. There's no tangible core or identity to it, because it's constantly changing over time. Another example is the ship of Theseus. Imagine a ship. After a while, some of the boards start getting a bit weak,
This is like the one thing they taught, like, regardless of what philosophical major, like, you talk to, anybody that's ever taken a philosophy class has talked about the ship of Theseus. Just because it's, like, one of the most simple thought experiments, and the idea of, like, hey, it's showing that things aren't as simple as they may seem. If you don't know what it is, he's just going to explain it, but it's basically that if you have a ship, and it's called Theseus, and you change a part of that ship every day, at what day or what time is it considered a new ship? Time for the 6. Is the soul and body united in nature, conjunction, or etc.? I'll give you the Christian philosophical, more of a Maya-Physites thought. We would say that the two natures, body and soul, come together in nature, hypostatic union. The two non-self subsequent hypostasis come together in a unified natural way. The union is composite, meaning composed of two parts in one without mixture. Why? Seriously, for the sub.
So they're replaced with new ones. New screws, new sails, everything. Eventually, every single component of the ship has been swapped out, but there's still continuity there. Ultimately, through extensive meditation and contemplation, you can achieve enlightenment, which frees you from this cycle of life and death, and you achieve
when over half of it is replaced. Why? Right? That's every philosophical topic just ends up becoming why, right? Like, I could just infinitely just hit you with a why every fucking time, right? When you die, you're gonna go to hell. Why? Because this. Why? Because that. Why? Right? And eventually, you're just not gonna have an answer to the why, and then that's where you're stumped. It's never a new ship. Why? Like, I could do this all fucking day, man. I could do this all day. No, because the majority of it is new. Well, yeah, the majority of it is new. But why does that make it a new ship? If you want my answer for it, it's that the idea of a ship of Theseus is just ingrained in the name of something rather than the physical makeup of it, right? If my name is Joe Bartolozzi and you start fucking replacing my parts like I'm a robot, I'm still me at the end of the day because I have my consciousness. But if you transform that to like a bottle and I call this bottle Bob and I keep changing the bottle and over time, over 100 years, it's just 100% new material, but I still call it Bob. It's still the same bottle because I've always called it Bob. Bent for the sub. Now, if you change the name, it's a new ship. Fuego for the 3. There's a difference between physical change and, like, title change, if you would call it that way. Again, love all the streams. Glad I was able to catch one and join in. Aiden for the 3. I feel as if people don't understand what a philosophy stream is. It's not to bash anybody who has a different belief. These streams are good to keep an open mind. Yes, I'm a Catholic, but I'm always open-minded. Will respect anybody's belief or opinion. Sorry for the long message. Love you, Route. No problem. And thank you for the nice message. Ben for the sub. I don't think you're bashing anybody. It's just you saying, hey, you know, like, we're just talking.
nirvana. Some ancient Greek philosophers also believed in a kind of reincarnation, but they called it
Is
metem.
this what you study in college? Yeah. Like, most of the shit I study in college is a lot of Western religion, or not religion, philosophy. I studied very little Eastern philosophy. Eastern philosophy, it was like 2 classes that I took. I had one on just straight Buddhism, so I know about Buddhism more than I know about basically anything else in the Eastern perspective. But we also learned about, like, Confucianism, Taoism, Hinduism, all those other things, right? And if you live in the United States, the majority of the philosophy you're going to learn is from Western philosophers. People that are obviously from the Greek realm, because that's where you're always going to start. But then you're going to get into, like, German philosophy a lot. And one of the philosophers that I've learned about the most is Friedrich Nietzsche, and that's one of the philosophers that I've read the most. And I've written 20-page papers on what the fuck he believes. Seriously, for the 1,000 biddies. Can you shout out my friend Nadia? She loves you. Shout out to Nadia.
Psychosis, coming from meta, to change, and empsikun, putting a soul into. Pythagoras is probably the most famous guy from this tradition that seemed to believe in it. There was an anecdote about a puppy being beaten, and Pythagoras jumped in to stop it. He argued that when he heard the dog yelping, he recognized the soul of one of his friends. So would reincarnation be desirable? Well, for me, it kind of solves both the problems of nothingness and immortality. When you die, your conscious experience doesn't cease to exist, so there's no deprivation of experience into the future. And it also wouldn't exactly get boring. Every new life presents you with a new mode of experience, new friends, new things to do. Maybe in my next life I'll be an orangutan running around, or maybe I'll be a famous musician. Who knows? And if getting reincarnated isn't really your bag, you can just get enlightened and break from the cycle. This all seems pretty good. A tier.
Yeah, but he's not mentioning that breaking from said cycle usually ends up with you becoming, in most parts, non-existent. Yo, Locke, thank you for the fucking raid, bro. Dub in the chat for that. Joe, chat is confusing me. Are you atheist or Buddhist? Neither. Agnostic.
You die.
Infinite Loop is the free... I don't know if he's going to talk about Infinite Loop in the regards that I'm about to say them, but Infinite Loop is the freakiest shit that I have ever thought about. The idea that I will die and then I will fucking rebirth as myself in another universe over and over and over again, but I'll never know, right? It'll still be me. It's like a weird form of reincarnation, but it's just like I'm never gonna die. I'm gonna die, but then I'm just gonna live this life again and again and again and again and again. That's also sad. Dude, it's really fucking freaky. And a lot of people are like, that can't be true because that's terrifying. Dude, what if it is? What if it is? What if that's what it is? Why is there... What? Because it's fucked up if that's the way it is? See, it's like, we always have this idea that it's like, oh, that can't be the way the universe is. That can't be how death and reincarnation and life works because that's fucking fucked up. The universe doesn't ask you if you fucking like the way that it is. It just is how it is, right? So, what if we just constantly die and come back as the same fucking person over and over and over for fucking forever? And there's no... Yeah, you can say, oh, it's not illogical, but you can't say it's wrong because it's fucked. Just because something's fucked up doesn't mean it can't be true in the regards to the universe, right? Obviously, if you're talking about, like, oh, a fucking scandal or something with a person, that's different. But if you're talking in the worlds of, like, hey, the universe has always existed and that's fucking scary. Oh, that can't be true. Why? Seriously, and Colby for the sub.
And then immediately begin the same life again. Everything is exactly the same. You make all the same decisions. You make all the same mistakes. You work the same job.
Dude, I feel like Nietzsche talked about this.
You have the same friends, and you die in the exact same way. Just to do it all over again for eternity.
Oh shit, here we go again.
This is the famous philosophical idea of eternal return, or eternal recurrence. It started with the Stoics, who you might be familiar with from all the self-help stuff on the internet. But it really took off when Nietzsche brought...
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
...it up. His first reference to it is a thought experiment in the gay science. It goes like this. One day, a demon visits you and says,
"Hey man, this life you're living right now, you're gonna live this same life an infinite amount of times, and there won't be anything new.
Would you hate this, or would you accept it?" He expanded on this some more in Thus Spoke Zarathustra. The main character starts off pretty terrified at the prospect of eternal recurrence, but eventually they get over it and end up embracing it. Now it's interesting to note that Nietzsche doesn't actually come out and say that he believes this is the case. He's not making any concrete metaphysical claim, he's just throwing it out there as a possibility. What this thought experiment is doing is more concerned with your reaction to that possibility. If it terrifies you, you probably aren't living the kind of life you actually want to live. But if you embrace it, you're probably on the right track.
Wow! Because if you're happy with the way that you're living, you'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, bro. I'm just going to live this life over and over again. Fuck! And that tells you gotta change your shit. That tells you gotta change your shit. Well, I mean, some of it has to do with, like, governments and stuff and, like, fucking political issues. But that's also, like, like, a whole different topic. Fuego for the 1256. Felt like doing one more. You're my favorite streamer. Keep doing what you're doing. You're the best. Thank you. Alex for the 3. Kind of comforting to me in a weird way because I'll get to do a whole lot of things again, even if I don't know it's a loop. The universe is truly infinite. I'll be you and you'll be me in a different version at some point. Seriously for the sub. Yeah. Well, that's the egg. That's different from this.
But what if this is actually the case? When you die,
Is that why the Big Bang happens? There's a scientific thing saying the universe one day, it's a theory that the universe would one day end with a big crunch where the universe kind of collapses in on itself and then could again just start another Big Bang.
everything resets back to when you were first born, and you go through all the same experiences again. For me personally, this seems pretty good. At least so far, my life has been pretty enjoyable. I had a happy childhood, and my early adult life has been interesting and rewarding so far. Assuming everything goes according to plan, and my life continues to be fairly good on average, I think I would be content living this life over and over again for eternity.
I mean, like, there's a lot of shit I would change if I could relive my life, but I think part of what makes life interesting is the fact that you can't change some shit, right? Like, if you could always just make the exact right opinion and right thing to do all the fucking time, life would be boring, right? It would never be fun. If you were always just never thinking back and being like, damn, I would have fucking done that differently, then you're never learning, right? Because when you go back and you say, damn, I would have done that differently, that's you learning for the future. And if you never say that, you're just a fucking NPC. If you've just never gone, wow, I wish I could fucking go back and not do that or change this or fucking go there instead or fucking eat this instead and not get food poisoning, well, then you don't learn. Seriously, for the 3. Thank you, man, for shouting her out afterwards. I gifted Nadia 7. Now she's really happy. Almost a big fan ever since you started TikTok. Thank you.
I guess I passed Nietzsche's test. It might sound a little depressing to know that this life is all there is, but every time I live my life, it feels like it's the first time. Even if I've already had all these experiences in the exact same way an infinite amount of times already, it still feels like the first time. All my experiences feel fresh and new. But with that being said, I have a pretty fortunate life, to the point that I'm basically as lucky as you can get. I had good life RNG. I'm a white straight man from Canada with enough money to live comfortably. I don't face any kind of oppression, I don't have any chronic pain, I have great friends and a loving family. But unfortunately, a lot of people aren't so lucky. If eternal recurrence is true, everyone who has ever suffered would have to live through that for eternity.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awful. If you were a kid that just got, like, mauled by, like, a tiger or some shit. Holy fuck. Just living over that over and over and over and over. Oh, that'd be fucking terrible.
Everyone who died in a famine. Everyone who died in
anybody who died in war or, like, like, literally, like, slavery or, somebody said miscarriage. Well, you wouldn't really be conscious for that, but you would if you were like an infant and died, you would relive that, but you wouldn't really know you're reliving it. The Holocaust, yeah. Like, that would be fucking terrible.
War would have to experience that over and over forever. If we're extending this to non-human animals too, every single factory farmed cow would have to live through that horrible existence for eternity. Every instance of suffering gets magnified an infinite amount of times. The same is true of positive experiences. You will have your first kiss an infinite amount of times. But the suffering makes it seem like that might not be 100% worthwhile. If I was ranking this based solely on my own experience, I would put this pretty high. But because of all the conscious suffering, I'll compromise and stick it in B.
Oh, stop. Oh, stop. The worst one. The worst one. The worst one. Fuck. Fuck. We're in a fucking video game, dude. Somebody said ban this loser. What is this person typing? Everybody, hold up. Oh. Oh. Hold up. Yeah, thank you, chat. W chat now.
The simulation argument is really big among Silicon Valley guys pretending to be philosophers. But the actual simulation argument was laid out by a genuine philosopher, Nick Bostrom. The argument goes like this. He lays out 3 possible scenarios. In scenario 1, humans and other civilizations like ours probably won't advance technology far enough to create simulated realities, or creating simulated realities is impossible in the first place. In the second scenario, creating simulated realities is possible, but if a civilization creates one, it won't make a lot of them. because it requires too much processing power, or there's some other kind of limitation. And finally, creating simulated realities is possible, and there's no limit on how many get produced. These simulations would be entirely indistinguishable from ordinary reality. If we're in this scenario, we're almost certainly living in a simulated reality right now. The sheer number of simulated realities would outnumber actual reality by so much that the probability that we're in actual reality would be very close to zero. Now, Bostrom's argument makes a lot of pretty...
Oh, but there was a video, god damn. Like, you know when there's, like, something that you can remember, but you can't, like, describe it well? There was a fucking video I watched way back trying to, like, disprove the idea that we're in a simulation and to prove that we're in the real world. And I forget what the argument was, but it really made sense. Fuck. I wish I knew what it was. Dude, I probably watched that video like 5-6 years ago. Easily. I used to be really into the simulation theory. I just thought that was really cool that, like, we could just effectively be in an ulterior form of, like, The Sims. Like, just a very realistic Sims. Just how fucking weird that would be. I mean, it gets to the point, it goes to the idea that nothing exists unless you're perceiving it, right? Things that are perceived exist, but things that aren't don't, right? And so, in a reality of a simulation, whatever's behind you doesn't exist until you look at it, or until you try to touch it, right? Everything that you're not interacting with is just void until I go and I try and touch it. It just instantly fucking, it's there. It's there, right? Imagine one day, though, you actually turn around and it's just a fucking void. Like, it lags. Like, you turn around and you're like, I'm gonna fucking get it one day. And then it's just like nothing. Or just like a bunch of numbers and you'd be like, oh my fucking god. No one would believe you. No one would believe you, by the way. That would be horrible to experience that. I would rather live in the simulation like that guy from The Matrix than fucking experience that. Because there would be nothing you could do. You would be an insane person. It would be worse than seeing Bigfoot. Because if you saw Bigfoot, everybody's just be like, oh, you're the crackhead that saw Bigfoot. But imagine if you turned around and you saw fucking code. Like you didn't exist, right? Like just ones and zeros. And just a green ones and zeros. And you were like, oh my fucking god. It's all fake. There would be nothing you could do and no one would believe you.
Pretty hefty assumptions. The first one is that mental states don't depend on their physical instantiation. Our current
I'd probably start doing crack.
Experience happens to emerge from biological neural networks in our brain. But according to this view, this doesn't have to be the case. If we could create a silicon processor in a computer with the exact same neural network, the same conscious experience would arise. Consciousness is a matter of information processing. There's nothing more going on. This is known as substrate independence. To be clear, this is a pretty controversial take. A lot of philosophers of mind believe that consciousness isn't reducible to computation. Some believe that consciousness does require a specific kind of substance for it to emerge, like a brain. But for the purposes of this argument, we'll assume substrate independence for consciousness. Bostrom also spends some time in his paper laying out some concrete numbers, showing how the simulation might be done. If it does end up being possible, it will be really hard.
What's really cool philosophically is the gap between like neuroscience, like neurology, like very in-depth, this is the science behind it, and like psychiatry and psychology, right? Where you're going, this is how humans act, and this is why they act. And you go to the molecular level of like, these are the neurons, these are how they fire, and this is how it changes this. There's a massive gap in between those two studies that just we know nothing about. Like why that makes some things occur, or just like language in general, how you understand certain things. There's so many. The brain is like, we know a lot about the brain, but we also know almost nothing about the brain in comparison to what we could know. And that's like really fucking freaky. And it's really fucking freaky that we're a brain trying to figure out how our brain works. It's like a machine trying to figure out itself. Seriously, for the 3. Thank you, man, for shouting her out. Oh, I already read that.
But if we assume that technology continues to progress...
Yo, I've almost been live for 6 hours.
...accelerate, it doesn't really matter how long it takes. Based on how much computing power it takes to replicate a single piece of neural tissue, We would need a computer that could perform about 10 to the...
I'm taking psychology next year. Is it kind of like philosophy? Not at all. A lot of philosophers have psych degrees or like psych minors or something like that. But yeah, basically psychology class is going to be you describing and regurgitating a shitload of info that just gets sent to you, right? C-Mitch for the sub, like how things work. Just so you're going to learn terms. It's you up for the 1,000 biddies. Been binge watching your YouTube videos and love your content. First stream locked in.
14 operations per second to replicate a human brain.
Wow.
Other estimates sit a bit higher, at 10 to the 16 or 10 to the 17. We'd have to generate some kind of environment for that brain too, and this really depends on how thorough we are with environmental simulation. At a minimum, we'd have to replicate the ordinary interactions humans might have with each other, or their environment. We couldn't program every single subatomic particle in the universe, so a lot of stuff would have to be left unrendered until a human came by to observe it. Based on all of this, along with a hypothetical computer design that could perform 10 to the 42 operations per second, Bostrom figures that civilizations in the distant future could indeed create simulations.
Oh god, this is just tripping me out, dude, and it really gets me going on like the idea. Now I'm just looping back and I'm ranting about whatever the fuck I want to rant about, but that just started making me think about free will and how like any decision, because I was like, how would a simulation simulate free will? How would it enable you to think for yourself? That doesn't make sense to me. And then outside of that, say we are in a simulation, we may not actually have free will. Like, you think you can choose, but at a moment of choice, you will always choose the same thing, right? In my opinion, your contemplation is your free will, right? That is, after an event occurs, the time between that event and the next event is a time where you contemplate and change the outcome of a future event. But at the moment of an event, your choice is not up to you. You think it is, but it is already predetermined, right? Like apple, I always use this. Apple or banana? Pick one. Write one in chat. Pick one, apple or banana. Whatever you fucking typed, I don't care what it was. You would never type the other if we went back in time, right? Obviously, now that you know you have said apple or banana, you are more likely to do something else because the experience you had has changed your future outcome of another experience. You have contemplated on your decision, and you are now thinking about, hey, if I ever encounter this again, I could do this instead. But if we went back in time to when I said type apple or banana, you would have always typed the same exact answer. You would have never typed something else. And you could say, yes, I would have. No, you would not have, right? If we had gone back to where you were 15 seconds ago, and you were given the same exact choice over and over again, you would always choose the same one. Because all of your experiences, all of your thoughts, and all of your life has led you up to this moment to choosing apple or banana, right? And it's the same of any experience at every choice you have ever been given. TJ for the 3. What if this life is fake and your next one, random guy, you're just a random guy that smokes salvia? What? Wasser for the 3. I'm agnostic Catholic, love your philosophy. Is there such thing of a true world? What do you mean? Like a real world? It's your thick boy. Thank you for the 10 gifteds as well. C-Mitch for the sub. Dub in the chat for that. Thank you if you get a sub. Thank you for the 10 gifteds.
Nothing in principle preventing this from being possible. Now, for the record, I'm not personally sold on the simulation argument. I'm not sure substrate independence is true. And I also don't know that it's a guarantee that civilization will continue developing forever. With climate change, resource depletion, and nuclear war, it's totally possible that we'll end up destroying ourselves. This might be thousands of years down the line, but we need a lot of time to make a simulation. This would also explain why we haven't encountered any alien civilizations. It could be that civilizations tend to self-destruct. And even if we make it that far, and substrate independence is true, our future descendants might not even want to make simulations in the first place. Should we run a simulation of all the suffering in the world, if the beings in there have conscious experience just like us? If we created ancestor simulations of our whole civilization,
You know what would suck, too? Is say humans don't blow themselves up and they do exist 50,000 years down the line. They're going to look at us like we're fucking cavemen. They're going to look at us how we viewed cavemen historically. Like, you know how we go back and we're like, oh, cavemen, they were so developed for their time, but, like, in reality, they're so stupid in comparison to us. They're just going to be looking at us in the same exact fucking way. Where we're like, aw, they had cave paintings. Aw, they knew how to fucking do handprints. It's going to be shit like that.
we would be simulating famines, wars, and diseases as well. But for our purposes here, my take doesn't really matter. If we are in a simulation right now, what happens when we die? Maybe it's like the episode of Rick and Morty, where they play Roy. In this episode...
Oh, I love that episode. And he fucking dies, and then Morty takes his headset off, and Rick goes like, good job, dude, you lived to 65.
Morty straps into a virtual reality game called Roy, where he lives through the entire life of a man named Roy. He lives through
Oh my god, I asked Brooke this the other day. Yo, chat. Imagine you die, and you wake up, and you're just at Blips and Chips with a random guy, and he's like, oh, good shit, man. Good shit, man. You lived to like 73 this time. What is your response, right? Just think about this. You die, right? And you wake up, and you're not whatever your fucking name is. You're just somebody else that just lived your life. And your friend, whoever your fucking friend is in that life, is just fist bumps you, and he goes, fucking good shit, man. You lived 73 that time. I would start crying. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? Because you'd be so zoned into that life that you wouldn't snap back into your other one for so long.
Childhood, attends school, becomes a football star, gets married, has a child, spends years working at a carpet store, is diagnosed with cancer, beats the cancer, and then dies in an accident. He's then presented with a game over screen, and wakes up again as Morty. He's obviously confused because he just spent 55 years living this virtual life, only to realize that it was all a game. In a Reddit thread about simulation and death, one smug Redditor put it this way: we take our VR headset off and go, wow, that was so real. Take a piss, and then put the VR headset back on, ready to play a new character. This VR game...
That would be so sad. I would hate that. I would fucking hate that. Oh my god. I would fucking hate that. Because then every meaningful connection I've ever made with somebody was just fucking pointless. Because it was a simulation. Like, that would upset me so much. Like, me dating Brooke and wanting to marry, it would just be like, she's not even real. It would just be like a fucking, I'm not even real. I was just a simulation, right? If we were all in a simulation, who gives a fuck, right? Because we're all fake. But if everyone else is fake and I'm real, that sucks. That's so much worse. I would rather everyone be fake and me also be fake than everyone be fake and me be real.
Possibility is kinda similar to reincarnation at first glance. You get to live through a whole life.
Also, I watched The Truman Show for the first fucking time, finally. Like, I always knew what The Truman Show was about because we would talk about it in philosophy, but I never actually watched the movie. Great fucking movie. Watch it.
And swap it out for a new one when you're done. But it's not exactly the same, because it's a solipsistic existence. None of the people you encounter in the simulation are real. They're just parts of the simulation, like NPCs in a video game. All the friends and connections you make are illusions. This kinda sucks. Maybe it's like the Matrix, where we wake up and realize we're just being harvested for our energy or something. At least everyone in the simulation is still an instantiation of a real person, so all the connections you make are sort of real. But I think this case is strictly bad. At the level of ultimate reality, you're just being distracted with this fake world so that you can be enslaved. Okay, well, maybe we're all just a tiny portion of some kind of super AI god. The AI wanted to figure out how it was created, so it started running simulations of human civilization in the lead up to technological singularity. When we die, we just merge back into the AI god consciousness. And finally, maybe it's just the same as nothingness. Once our lifetime in the ancestor simulation is over, your consciousness ceases to exist. None of these possibilities seem desirable to me, and every single one of them seems to diminish the value of our world pretty considerably. We would all just be imitations of people who supposedly existed before the singularity happened. I'll put simulation in C tier.
one with everything? Is that just like everybody's just part God? Full for the three or part of the universe? Might be random, but how far do you think people are able to evolve mentally past a certain point? I mean, I have no idea. How would I gauge that? Alex for the three. That would be me seeing in the future. With the brain chips and shit, they'll be able to essentially do this for any amount of time, which will eventually substitute prison sentences and whatnot. We will basically achieve immortality inside of our own heads. Yeah. Demi for the sub. Well, you physically would not be immortal, but you could perceivably slow down time in your own head to the effect that it would be as if you were. Also, W people that are still here, it's 11 at night. I know a lot of people left because it's philosophy, but I also think like half of my chatters are fucking asleep right now. It's fucking Thursday.
There's an old joke that goes something like this. The Dalai Lama walks up to a hot dog stand, and he says to the man running the stand, "Hey, make me one with everything." The idea that we're all one consciousness has the connotation of being a bit hippy-dippy. It's often associated with meditation practice, or other techniques that supposedly reveal this truth. But this idea is actually pretty old. It's part of the system of reincarnation in some schools of Hinduism, where deep down we're all God or Krishna. It also emerged a few times in the Western intellectual tradition. Schopenhauer talked about this kind of thing a lot, for example. And some pretty famous physicists have described similar things, including Erwin Schrödinger, Freeman Dyson, and even Einstein. Sometimes this idea is called
The fuck did Einstein say?
Schrödinger, Freeman Dyson, and even Einstein.
A human being is a part of a whole called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts, and feelings as something separate from the rest, a kind of optical illusion of his consciousness. I think that whenever I describe God in my own terms, I always say that God is the universe and that we are part God because we are part of the universe. And I think that makes sense. Like, you would just split yourself. Like, if you were God, you would split a fraction of yourself to be a mortal human and to experience some form of what finite is, right? You would be an infinite being that fractures yourself to experience the finite.
Sometimes this idea is
Watch for the sub, funny for the sub, Aiden for the 3. The Discord philosophy channel is so good and interesting right now.
called open individualism, which is a term coined by Daniel Kolak. There isn't really much academic philosophy on the subject, but there are a number of books about it, and it actually has a pretty sizable community on the internet. In this view, there are basically 3 ways you can look at personal identity. First is closed individualism. You start existing when you're born, and you stop existing when you die. Everyone is a separate observer that exists moment to moment. This is how most people intuitively think about it. Next, there's empty individualism. Everyone has had the experience of trying to fall asleep, and suddenly, a cringy memory from your teenage years pops up. You're ashamed. You're embarrassed. What could you have possibly been thinking? It almost seems as if someone else had done it. But perhaps it was someone else. The you of the past. In every single moment, we're a different person. This is empty individualism. In this view, you're just a little dot on the timeline of your life. Each moment you exist is a different, unique entity that's constantly changing over time. We are just a moment of experience. And finally, there's open individualism. You are every moment of experience on everyone's timeline. The fact that some other entity is instantiating consciousness makes them identical to you. Wow. This might seem a little wacky at first, but stick with me here. Let's go back to closed individualism for a second. You're the same person from birth to death, but what's holding it all together? Maybe it's memory. I remember some of the stuff I did when I was 10 years old. My memory of who I used to be is the continuity between all the moments of my life. But this doesn't really work. We don't remember everything. That's not how memory works. I don't remember what I had for breakfast.
I don't remember everything, but you know what's really freaky? When you fucking forget about something. Like, you guys will do it on stream sometimes where, like, you'll bring up a game that I played fucking years ago and I don't even remember it. But, I mean, more in your guys' own life. Like, you're hanging out with your friend and he say a friend that you've known lifelong, right? And he brings up some shit from, like, 7 years ago. And you're like, oh my God. And it just enters your brain, right? Something that you would have never remembered for the rest of your life. But the second they brought it up, it fully, like, full-fledged brings back the memory that you just, it was there, but you would have never been able to find it if they didn't mention it.
on New Year's Day of 2013. And there are also false memories. People can be convinced of experiences that they never actually had. Okay, so memories out, well, what about my body? I've had the same body since the time I was born, but once again, this doesn't really work. The cells that make us up are constantly changing over time, like a ship of Theseus. Same goes for the brain. So all of this kind of hurts closed individualism. We can't seem to point to anything that ties it all together. So should we opt for empty individualism? Well, maybe not. Even though there doesn't seem to be anything tying it all together, it definitely seems like there's continuity in our experience. But how can we get over the weirdness of open individualism? Well, think about your conscious experience for a second. From our perspective, there's basically no gaps in our experience. We're unconscious all the time when we sleep, but there doesn't seem to be any transitionary nothingness in between. It's almost an instantaneous change from falling asleep to waking up. When I got my wisdom teeth removed, I remember laughing from the nitrous
anesthesia is the weirdest. I don't know. When I fall asleep and wake up, it feels as if an amount of time has passed. Who here has been under anesthesia? When you're under anesthesia, it is like the snap of a finger. Like, it's so fucking weird. Like, if you fall asleep and wake up, it feels like an amount of time has passed because I'm dreaming and I'm remembering things. When you're under anesthesia, it's like you're on the table and they're talking to you with the thing over your face. And you go, and it's been 7 hours. You just you literally teleport from, like, it's like a blink. And you're just up and you're like, what the fuck? It's dude, it's so fucking weird. I just feel like it's because your brain's just like borderline off.
Oxide as the surgeon prepared the equipment. And then, in the next moment, I was sitting in the recovery room. It was as if no time had passed. It was a seamless transition. This continuity lasts from our first experiences as children until the instant we die. And importantly, from our center of awareness, this block of experience doesn't have a beginning or end. We just kind of find ourselves in the world, as if we've always been here. Objectively, we weren't always here, but it feels like this awareness is a constant, because it's all we are. The only stable thing about me is my...
It feels like I've always been here because it's all I know.
Immediate conscious...
The only reason I know that I haven't always been here is because of things before me, right? If you spawned me in a box and everything that I experienced was just there, I would have thought that I have always existed. Right? I am the beginning and I am the end. Like, the only reason I know things were before me is because you see your parents and you see history and you learn about all this shit that happened before you. But if you never knew that, you would just be like, oh my God, I'm just here. Like, I'm the start.
Conscious experience. It's the only thing I can really point to and say, that's me. Because my body, my memories, and everything else is constantly changing. But here's the kicker. That immediate conscious experience is the same thing that other people have to point to. What you call I is the same thing that I call I. Now, with all that being said, I'm not totally sold on open individualism. But once again, let's just roll with it. Let's say we
wait, what did he say?
Totally sold on open individualism. But one thing other people have. Here's the kicker. That immediate conscious experience is the same thing that other people have to point to. What you call I is the same thing that I call I.
Yeah.
Now, with all that being said, I'm not totally sold on open individualism. But once again, let's just roll with it. Let's say we are all the same person. We're an identical subject of experience, but we're just different parts of it. So what does this say about death? Well, one suggestion might be that when we die, the illusion ends. As MC Ride once said, my experience is a momentary lapse of reason. Our identification with ourselves as one particular human stops, and we return to the ocean of being. But what would this be like? Would we experience all conscious experiences that all beings are having simultaneously? Almost like you're sitting in front of a bunch of screens, watching every single experience play out.
I do a lot of the time think what it would be like to be someone else. Not in my own mind, but like if you look at your parents or your siblings or your friends, I'm always like, I try to be them in my head, right? Like, not even be me anymore. Like, I've at moments closed my eyes and felt what it was like to be someone else and experience life. And it's so fucking weird. It makes you understand people more. I think it makes you more, you know, not necessarily empathetic or something, but like just, hey, you know, you understand people's struggles more because you're like, fuck, man, I get what it's like to be you. Even though you've never experienced it, like you try to fully understand, like, fuck, what if I was your consciousness? Demon and Roses for the sub, 10 tacos for the 3. I hope that I'm a video game, like one video game for Brick and Morty. I think it'd be a pretty good score right now. Alex for the 3. Pretty sure they did a lot of research on this stuff. Out of brain can remember basically everything that's happened before our eyes, but it chooses only to remember what we dream as or deem as important and puts the rest into a back file. Wow.
This is a pretty tricky thing to wrap your head around, and it's unclear whether this state of being would be positive, negative, or neutral.
W6 hours, you got yourself another shirt sale. Thank you, 10 tacos.
But you might also consider the fact that right now, you're only one instantiation of consciousness. Maybe instead of returning to some default, where you're everything at once, you cycle through every instance of consciousness. This picture might look something like the short story The Egg by Andrew Weir.
Yep.
In this story, the main character, you, die in a car crash. You meet God, who explains that you've already reincarnated loads of times before. In your next incarnation, you'll be a Chinese peasant girl in 540 AD. In fact, you've actually been reincarnated as every single human being who has ever lived. You were Abraham Lincoln, Adolf Hitler, and Jesus. You were also every Holocaust victim and every follower of Jesus. This whole process is meant as a kind of test. Once you've lived every single human life, you become a god just like him. The universe was created so that you understand that every time you hurt someone, you're really just hurting yourself. Every time you do something good for someone, you do it for yourself. This picture is—
But why? Going back to my shit, bro. Going back to my shit. Anytime I arrive at a fucking some sort of thing that makes sense, but why? Okay, yeah, sure. I have to live every human life before I become a god because I have to understand the grasp of morality. Why? Why does that fucking matter? Why does that matter at all for me becoming a god? Right? I need to understand the idea of human morality. What the fuck does that have to do? I don't understand. Like, I want to get it. But I'm like, dude, like, I understand what they're saying, but I'm like, but why? But why? What's the purpose behind that?
Is a lot like reincarnation, but with a few key differences. First, it seems to be human only. You won't come back as a mosquito or a lion. And secondly, it doesn't seem to be tied to any kind of karma. You'll be cycling through every single human life, so the actions you take in your current life don't really have any meaningful bearing on your next lives, aside from the fact that you'll experience the other side of every interaction. This story also has a really important ethical implication that's kind of similar to the Veil of Ignorance thought experiment by John Rawls.
You know what's really trippy? Not even just thinking what other people's lives are like. See yourself through someone else's perspective. Fucking so trippy. Next time you're at a lunch table with your friends or something and you're sitting there, think the person across from you. Be them and look at yourself in your mind's eye, right? Oh my God. Fucking so weird. It just makes you not even feel like you're real. Like, it's, what the fuck? Like, you're just another, like, you're above yourself and you're just viewing your own life.
Imagine you have no idea who you will be in society. You don't know your ethnicity, your gender, or your social status. Rawls argues that we should attempt to structure society from this perspective. Our principles should not be based on our current life and all the circumstances we happen to find ourselves in, but they should be based impartially, as if we could end up as anyone in society. The egg scenario is a lot like this because you're actually everyone. So the doctrine of do to others whatever you would like them to do to you takes on a very literal meaning because the others are also you. Now, this is a tricky one to rank. I'm not really sure what to think about returning to the ocean of being. It's hard to say what exactly that would be like. But as for the human-to-human exhaustive reincarnation idea, I think that's really great. You would quite literally get the full spectrum of human experience. every instance of suffering, pain, joy, ecstasy, and love. I think that's easily the most interesting
It would be a fully even experience.
possible situation. S tier.
Wow. That was a fucking great video. Oh yeah, for the sub, 10 tacos for the 3. I think it's fun to be a specific person and try and imagine what it's like living in their consciousness or literally live in their situation since everybody has different thoughts and processes. Dub. Chat. We're going to call that there. 6-hour fucking stream. Dub. I will be live tomorrow at 4:30 EST. We're doing a fucking charity stream. Goated ass charity stream. Project Hope for Ukraine. And a React stream. Going to be a full React stream. No philosophy Reacts, just regular Reacts. Saturday, I'm going to be doing Ready or Not, Roblox, and more Reacts. Probably going to be a 5-hour stream Saturday. Sunday, I'm going to be not live. Monday, I'm going to be doing Simulacra and then whatever chat wants me to do after that, depending on whether or not we like it. Tuesday, I'm going to be doing more Reacts. I know it's kind of a lot of Reacts back-to-back, but I'll explain why if you see the rest of the schedule. More Reacts on Tuesday, and then practicing for Party Animals Twitch Rivals. Wednesday is going to be Party Animals Twitch Rivals, me, Zeusy, Sneeg, and Handsome, and then maybe doing some other group games after that. Thursday is going to be Unbans and Scary Games, and then Friday, Saturday next week, I'm not live. And then next Sunday will be Reacts, and then we'll be back to our regular schedule playing other fucking games. But yeah. Hope you all had fun. We had a W fucking 6-hour stream. Thank you to everyone that fucking tuned in. We had a great chat, great audience today. A lot of people in the fucking stream. And I'm surprised there's still 2,000 people here after 2 hours of philosophy, and it's 11 fucking 10 at night on a goddamn Thursday. You know? So W chatters, W people that are here. I hope you guys had fun watching. Hope you guys tune in to future streams, whether it be tomorrow or whatever. You know, if you want to pop in tomorrow, that'd be fucking appreciated. It's going to be a charity stream. But I'm literally going to upload on YouTube, even though it's late as fuck right when I end. So make sure to go watch that. Outside of that, hope you all had fun. I had a fun time streaming. And let's raid fucking Handsome Fella, because he's playing a fucking scary game. Let's go. Chat, I will catch y'all soon. Hope you all had fun. W in the chat. See y'all tomorrow, 4:30 EST. Exclamation point Discord, video success tab, game tab. You want me to watch any videos, play any games, send those there. Catch y'all soon. Right in 5, 4.